Patrick setting the tone with his new fade and shit.
Ooh, pressure P.
Hear that bass in his voice? 5, 4. Nigga sound like Barry White. Yes.
Roman creep out.
We back. Another classic, another day.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I can't say that on the radio. That's
Why?
called a crutch. I'm saying that all the time. Yes. Yo, listen.
That's your filler.
Anyways, but
That's the likes and the ums of the
yeah,
radio.
Basically, essentially, it's because I use them as like gap fillers. It's like a comma from here.
So you do know
It could be
that's going to
worse.
help sharpen your comedy skills on stage.
I hope so.
100% is going to.
I hope so.
It will.
Because now you have to be very, very keen to those small little details
Yeah.
on the radio, and it's going to permeate over to your
And I'm
comedy
writing even
stage.
more jokes every day, essentially.
Because now you got to talk
every day.
for 3 hours,
Yeah.
well, in
Yeah.
between 3 hour
Yo,
slots.
That time be flying. Let me tell you. Like, it feels like I'm on for an hour. Because we realistically only talk in 4-minute gaps.
Oh.
Or 3 minutes, or 2 minutes, or 1 minute. So it's never like super long.
Yeah.
And then it's like 14 minutes of music and commercials. But anyways,
Every hour, 14 minutes?
it depends. It depends. Sometimes it's one song, sometimes it's 5. It all depends. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. YouTube subscribers, I see you. Commenters, I see you.
Well, yeah, we hear comment
Hit
game
that
strong,
like button.
son.
All that.
Subscribe, all that good shit.
Tell a friend, tell a friend.
I've been saying that for like 15 years almost.
15
Subscribe.
years. Subscribe, like, press
One day you
that
guys are
button
gonna just see
below.
what tears in my eyes. Subscribe. Like, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Marlon,
I'm Norm.
I'm Duke.
and we are the Extra Gravy. Alicia's not here today. She's feeling a little under the weather. Make sure you guys send her a little heart. Send her something. Send her some love.
We miss you, Alicia.
But we got hold on. Let's stop playing around, man. We got a legend in the building, man. Hold on.
What?
Hold on. Early 2000s.
Yeah. Hell
Like
yeah.
some 41
That
Fallout Boy feel.
That was
Yeah.
a vibe, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
The
teenage
best showers.
angst.
I had the best
Hell
showers
yeah.
back then. Just singing that
Yeah, hell yeah. I love that you said that too.
But yeah, man, definitely what you got. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta give him the intro. You know what I'm saying? This guy's one of the most consistent, one of the most resourceful creatives in Toronto. This guy's been doing it for so long. When I started YouTube, he already had a following. He was out here already.
It's your OG, fam.
Over 15 years?
Over
yeah, it has
15
to.
years
Has
in
to,
the
has to
game.
be like 15, I guess. At, this
At
point.
least,
Yeah.
at least. Ladies and gentlemen, Russell in the building. Mr. Sweetheart is in the building.
Yes.
Thank
Not
you.
to be mistaken for a MAGA hat. No, this is a sweetheart cutie pie.
Not a MAGA hat. No.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
no
the
doubt,
intro,
bro.
man.
No
This
doubt,
is
man.
sick.
Thanks for
Hell
coming
yeah.
through, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
man.
I'm stoked to be here. This is I'm a watcher, every now and then.
I'm a watcher too, man. I've been watching you for a minute. I thought of you as a YouTuber early days, and then I realized, no, this guy is like, he wears multiple hats.
Yeah.
Did you start off wearing multiple hats? Was that always the thing?
Yeah, I was actually talking to Norm like before this. It was I had to be 13 and I love Soulja Boy. Like that was like Soulja Boy, like sound click Soulja Boy era.
Up in this hole.
Like
Yeah.
it wasn't even like it was. This is like pre-crank that. Like I was just
Oh,
on
shit.
Soulja Boy. Yeah. So
Whoa.
and he had like a bunch of very low quality sounding songs,
Yeah.
but they sounded so like
Not much has changed.
No, don't do that, Soldier.
Well, I'm just talking about the. Get out of here! Shout out Soldier.
Shout out Soulja
Big
Boy,
Soulja,
man.
No,
The first nigga on YouTube.
He made power,
but he used to do these like very like fruity loops. Like when I say low quality, I don't mean like whack. I mean like more so just like the instruments were
Bare
very
bones.
cool and cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love the cheapness of some of the like instruments in that first Soulja Boy album. But I say that to say, as a kid, I fucking loved him, and I still love him now.
Yeah.
But when he did those early songs, YouTube was like, he would upload things on YouTube.
Yeah.
I used to just upload things to MySpace. I feel like we all had a MySpace. at one
MySpace,
point.
yep.
I did.
right?
I just missed that. Yeah.
So
MySpace.
yeah,
He was a fetus around that time.
Nah, we're about the same age, almost. Don't do that.
But yeah, so I was on MySpace, and to put videos on your MySpace, you had to get the code. You guys remember the code?
HTML shit. Yep.
Yeah, so I would upload videos to YouTube and then just put them on my MySpace. But then I realized there's like comment sections and like people are talking.
Yeah.
So I started getting views off these like lip singing Soulja Boy videos.
What?
And I was early to Soulja Boy, and then he makes Crank That, and you know what I mean?
Wow.
Like I'm making Crank That parodies and a bunch of other stuff.
crazy.
So, and this is like before monetization, before all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm at the time too, I'm like kind of just doing it because I wanted attention as a kid. And that was like, it was the internet. It was like, I'm like, what, 13, 14? Like,
Yeah.
fuck it. Let me like, see what's up. But after a while, I guess like I was saying to Norm, I kind of just like, I guess like, I'd always been doing music or like just kind of into rapping.
Yeah.
But I never really put it out on the internet. And then I kind of had the fan base already from the people that liked my personality.
Yeah.
So I just threw the music in there, and then they were like, oh, he's kind of good. And I was like, all right, sick. Like, I'll roll with this now.
Yeah.
So I kind of like migrated to that. But then, and it's kind of like what I do with music now. It's like, I'm a musician first before anything, but I like a little dash of like personality to what I do.
Yeah.
For sure.
I definitely wear multiple hats. I do like a lot of stuff for my own videos, and I do everything around just kind of what I need to do to resource my music and put it out. Whether it's writing trailers and skits or designing the merch with the homie Jacob, like I just kind of always wanted those to be like my things, like how Pharrell had like ice cream and all that other stuff.
Right, yeah.
Tyler, the Creator, all those guys always be doing more things than just the music.
And even
itself.
Soulja Boy, like to look up to Soulja Boy at that time, I feel like if you were one of those kids you were tapped in.
Yeah.
Because Soulja
Yeah.
Boy is literally like we like to joke around about the first thing, but realistically on the internet, in terms of creating a brand for yourself on the internet as a musician, that's a perfect person to look up to at that
Yeah.
time, as a 13-year-old especially.
He
making millies off of ringtones.
Yeah,
Come on now.
Just going
he used
viral.
to
Yeah.
put out these songs on SoundClick. Like people will know SoundClick. I'm like aging myself. But he put these songs on SoundClick, and like I would just be tuned in every single song. But the cover art would always be him in like a polo, like a cool ass polo. And that was when polo, like a baggy ass polo, was the shit. I was like, God, I want to be this guy. I want to be this guy. He's like 16 years old. He's like performing at all these parties, and you kind of like see it all in real time. It was like what we're experiencing now, but just way back then.
Yeah.
In like the smallest scale, but like it was just so cool. But yeah, I owe so much to Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
I would not be here if Soulja Boy did
And
not
Fruity
exist.
Loops. I think there should be a documentary on Fruity Loops.
Oh hell yeah!
The amount of artists that came up off there, the accessibility to make your own shit and to do it in the comfort of your room or your
Oh, hell yeah.
closet or whatever,
Yeah.
changed the game completely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What were you gonna
DIY
say?
shit is cool.
I was gonna say, I think you are the first person in my known history to ever say, "Thank you to
Soulja
Soulja Boy for,"
Oh, hell yeah.
like I've never
got to,
heard
man.
anyone say that.
They
before.
feel it, they don't say it. They
That
feel
part.
it.
But to say
I-
like you're a big inspiration, Soulja, like wow.
yeah, I owe so much to Soulja Boy and 50 Cent. Two people
50,
I owe
50,
like.
yeah.
50.
That
So
makes
much
sense
too.
because you're, like I said, you're super resourceful. I've always seen you like, I don't know if you got a team that comes up with the concepts of the things you do, or like you know how to create almost a character for the moments. Like right now, Mr. Sweetheart, like this is a different character almost, but it makes sense for each project that you're putting out. Like,
Yeah.
this is the concept. I want you guys to buy in, and you buy in first.
Definitely.
So it's like you
It's like
don't
The Weeknd,
see,
how he does it.
yeah, but these days you
Kanye-
see a lot of
Kanye's the one that
artists
started
do
that,
the
yeah.
whole like, yo, here's a song, 1,000 comments I'll drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the extent of the marketing. You know what I mean? And that
Yeah.
works for some people, but like I love a well thought out rollout. I like when, you know, you're creating a character, like when Kanye had the suits, that suit era.
Yeah, man.
And it was like Good Fridays. You're getting Good Fridays
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
week. Like that was an era, and I
When Tyler
remember
came out
him
with
as
Igor,
that. Igor,
Igor
like,
is my shit.
Exactly.
and see how he was able to use that in one of his videos where he's killing off
Yo, that
every
was
character
amazing. Yeah.
that he's ever created.
Yeah.
Like, did you always see that for yourself, or was that like a team thing? Or
You know, it's funny. I always saw myself in that lineage of like a Tyler or a Pharrell or a ASAP. Like that's what I compare myself to more than anything. And
Yeah.
like I really like to wear multiple hats and have fun in each field. But it's like I'm not like a jack of all trades to a sense where like I want to like try my best to be the best at every single thing. I know my main thing is making music.
Yeah.
Facts.
But it's like, what do you build around the music to make people give a fuck, essentially?
yeah,
Right? And that's like kind of the music business, like making people give a fuck about your music enough to, you know, buy it and support you for
Yeah.
long term, right? So sorry, I'm really passionate about this stuff. So. But no, I don't ever want to be like a one trick pony. It's like, yeah, you could sing and you got the talent, but like, do you got like the full out work ethic, and do you have like kind of the know
The
when it comes to
well-roundedness.
yeah, the know when it comes to entertainment, because this
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
this is what this is at the end of the day. And so what you were saying, it's like I think a lot of artists, which isn't like, I feel like it could be a problem, but most of us have crazy egos. Like,
Yeah. I'm working on it, yeah.
and I mean,
a
we're
lot of
all-
times it's necessary. A lot of times it's necessary to have that ego. Like a lot of my
Exactly.
favorite, like Michael Jackson had an ego. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't get that pose for 10 minutes without an ego. You don't get iconic moments like that.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of times you have to, that ego can be a fuel. And like
Yeah.
you see a lot of chip on the shoulder stuff or whatever, but I think if it's with a sense of purpose, it's not like in vain. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I think they're like the positive and the negative sides to it.
Yeah.
And I think one of the negative sides to you know, just fully living by that ego is like just thinking that you need all that I'm gonna drop this 500 comments. Okay, there you're validated by this like view count.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, how many of those people that like, you know, these all these views that you get, how many of these people are gonna give a fuck enough to buy a ticket to your show?
Yeah.
Facts.
You know, like, are you thinking about how they feel?
Yeah.
You're so like into
Wrapped up in
the
yourself.
artist ego. You're not thinking, where is this music gonna live?
Yeah.
Who is my fan? Like,
Yeah.
one thing, it's crazy. Like, just a little game for anybody who is an artist and like watching this and, you know, consuming it. One person stumped me once when I was a kid. I was like, I had to be like 19, 20. And they worked in the industry, and they had asked me, and I love this question. He was like, yo, dress your fan up. Like, what does your fan look like? And I was like stumped.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to say because I think at the time I was like creating out of pure ego and just wanting hits on YouTube. Being in that YouTube generation of when hits were like, and they still are kind of like everything to people.
Yeah.
But it's like, I want all the, we all want all the views in the fucking world.
Yeah.
But like, I want the right views. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, I want to get
Exactly.
10 million and do it like my way.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Instead of having to conform. But I think it all just boils down to like taking my ego away from things and thinking like, oh, where does my music live enough for people to actually like give a fuck about this?
Yeah.
You know, who's gonna like, okay, you could drop a flame emoji, but like, this person that's dropping the flame emoji is probably just gonna scroll past your shit and like whatever. But
Yeah.
like, you know, I just like to draw people in with like these different, you know, I like to do my own videos. I like edit all of them, and I just kind of like, I did like a little short film with my friends, like just kind of no budget, just doing our thing.
Yeah.
Like just us, and it's all because like I just really care about like how the viewer is gonna feel, how the listener is gonna feel when they hear my shit.
Yeah,
because they can definitely like picture themselves within that situation, even if they haven't been in it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I meet a bunch of dudes that like are just like. I feel like they don't really relate to the music at all, but they're like, yo, just the story you put around it is cool.
painted a picture for them.
Yeah, it's like movies almost.
Yeah.
Damn near,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Like people love movies. Like Ryan Gosling plays these characters that are like I'm him characters.
Yeah.
And I want to do that for music. I want you to listen to my albums and be like, yo, I'm this guy.
Yeah.
You know, like driving your car.
That was
like,
me
I'm
hearing
really this
Thong
guy.
Song. That was me hearing Thong Song for the first
Hell
time.
yeah.
I was like, this
Yo.
is me. I'm that nigga. You
How
feel me?
crazy is
Let
it?
me see that thong,
Sisqo.
baby.
Yo, how crazy is it that
yell.
both, like, that song is just 2 verses repeated?
It's so good he had to sing it twice. It's just amazing. The song's just amazing.
I love
I'm
that
gonna
format.
get a QR code tattoo
Don't.
right here.
Oh, like the
Don't-
Spotify one?
Yeah. And I'm just gonna spread the gospel of Sisqo.
Please stop this, man.
What do you mean? I think Sisqo should be where Usher is.
No.
Nah,
Personally,
Cisco. Nah.
Why not?
People don't give
not.
Cisco
Usher was
respect.
Michael?
Thank you.
I wouldn't.
Sisqo's Prince.
Sisqo's Prince?
If Usher's Michael, Sisqo was Prince.
I like that. I like that.
Stop this. This is nonsense.
Why
I
is it
hate this.
nonsense?
Absolutely not. Cisco had blonde or platinum hair.
Okay.
Already insane. The yell, but even as a kid, I'm like, this
It's
doesn't
an
feel right.
amazing, iconic.
Can you do
yeah,
it?
yeah.
I was like, what's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with this guy?
Like the way.
Them fucking
Come on.
ad libs.
He's yelling this over a
I
thong.
don't think you heard me. The nigga
No,
yelled
but that's
and said,
what
I
makes
don't
it
think you heard
R&B.
me.
That's what makes it R&B. That you gotta.
Facts.
Sorry, it's not Frank Ocean.
He's
Wow,
singing in the
that's
rain.
crazy, bro.
He's singing in the rain about thongs, sir.
He was.
You can't get more R&B than
Yeah,
that.
that's
Enter
very
the Dragon.
R&B.
That song was nuts too.
Tell me.
Come on,
what
man.
You, come on, nigga.
Rhyming? What?
Incomplete?
What? With dumps like a truck?
Oh my God. You remember Wild Wild
Genius.
West? With Will Smith?
Yeah, that was a bullshit ass
We're
song.
going straight too. You feel me? He was doing Michael Jackson all through that bitch.
She's a bad man with Gemma.
Oh,
Come
don't
on,
sleep,
man.
nigga. Don't
Insanity.
sleep, nigga.
Insanity. But I did want to add to what you said. Even taking that perspective of, saying I want to think about what my people are listening to or how they feel when they listen to my music, that's only a POV you can get as a veteran, right? It shows that you've gotten to that point where it's like, yo. And to answer your question earlier about like, oh, am I this or am I 100%, bro? You've been super consistent for a long time, and you've been switching hats a lot.
Thank you.
Right? So, you need that confirmation, fam. You got that. Like, for real.
Thank
sure.
you. And to add to your point, I think like I spend my time like studying how to be a superstar in like every way, but also like I think I balance that time with being a fan. Like I'm a fan first before everything.
Got to be.
I'm such a fan. Even like I ramble so much on about like music and like creativity, but music being like hip hop and R&B, like very very just.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
like interesting. Stay right there. You like interesting songs. What
Yes.
does Janet Jackson offer you mean to you, dog?
Whoa. This guy Nardwar.
Yup.
Nah, that's
I
my
said, you
shit.
like interesting songs.
So I think if I were to remember correctly, I first gained consciousness in the back of my dad's Jeep with my cousins listening to that song on the radio.
Really?
So it's like when I hear it, I just think about that. And it's like, it makes me think of a drop top Jeep and like just riding through the highway as a kid.
Gain consciousness as in like your first memory?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Nuts.
crazy. What was
Janet
your first
Jackson.
memory?
Man, I couldn't. I mean, think of anything about that. I can't.
What was your first memory?
My first memory that I could think of was probably I remember falling off my aunt's shoulders and smacking my head on the corner.
Oh, shit.
This guy came to the world in a bang.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
shit, I'm a
gnarly.
human.
And,
Oh, my God.
and then I remember, that's my oldest memory. I remember being in a hospital because my head split open. I just remember
God
being in a
damn.
hospital and be like, what is this?
Whoa.
And boom. But I do remember sitting on that shoulder and then being dropped. Damn. Yeah.
Wow. That's your
Whoa.
first memory.
That's the oldest memory I can think of.
Wow.
So I don't know what my first memory may be, but that's the one I could think that dates the furthest back. I think I was like 3 years old.
First thing you did was
So-
crack your
Wow.
head.
Yeah.
And you're not a crackhead. Look at that. Look at God. See how God endures? My niggas
I'm
never believed
hard-headed
my
though.
first.
That's the thing. That's the problem.
Maybe that's why. Niggas never believed my first memory.
What is it?
The womb. I remember glimpses.
There's always that guy.
Listen.
I remember inside. I remember
Listen,
the
guys,
temperature was
guys,
exactly
walk with
28
me.
degrees.
Walk with me here.
I put my hair to the side and like, come on.
I didn't have hair. Come on.
Okay, at least you admit that. I had a lineup with
We
the
gotta
womb,
be
fam.
realistic.
Yeah.
But I just remember.
With the keys. With the fucking keys.
Why are you looking at me like that?
You know when niggas lie?
You can't lie when the strings come in. The strings came in.
Listen, I just remember seeing a glowing orange and fleshy vein. All right. And it just sounded like I was underwater. It was like, I could, yeah, you can hear sim simma, like faintly, faintly muffled on the other side.
You already doing the bogle inside the voice?
I'm just thinking about like the cover of Nirvana, but in a womb. Yeah, exactly. That was you.
Maybe that's what I remember.
He was looking at Nirvana. This me.
Maybe my first memories of a Nirvana video. I'm like, oh, that was me. That was me. Yeah. No, I remember my mom bringing me to the fridge, and she like checked a bottle, and I guess it wasn't warm yet, and she just pulled out her titty. And breastfeeding is like the first memory I have, and it was like literally 10 seconds, and I can't remember anything else.
Oh, wow.
And it's weird because like even like we didn't live there when I was like 4. We moved like when I was a baby, but I could tell her the layout of the kitchen.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, "Wow, you actually do remember." Because I don't know why.
Damn.
It's such a vivid memory to me.
Yeah.
Just being carried to this fridge, and then seeing her like check the bottle on her hand. And she's like, fuck it. She just pulled out her titty. And then the memory just ends. And I'm like,
incredible, though.
God
Holy-
damn.
It's crazy how certain memories will like click in the moment like you drive by it. Like
Oh, yeah,
I was
yeah.
driving down the street, Bree Morton Drive in Scarborough, and it was the first house my mom and dad owned. And I remember this curve as we were driving down. I remembered, oh man, that's the curve where my dad used to disappear into the distance while he was jogging, doing his morning jog.
Oh, wow.
That's
And then I was,
cinematic.
and I would remember it, but then I also remembered years later my mom revealing to me like, "Oh, your dad used to go on these jugs and then cheat on me." Right. So now I'm remembering,
Tito.
yo, this is the curve that he would go around. So we got
Was running to the pussy. That man couldn't wait. I said, shit.
He's wearing like jeans and shit. Like, he's not even wearing sweatpants.
He's
Full on
doing
jean
more.
shorts. Like, yeah, I'm waiting for it.
We're a jog. This nigga in snow pads.
We're like chanclas and shit. I didn't
Damn.
But the worst part
Sprinting.
is these are morning jogs. He's gonna cheat in the AM, yo. Like
Sprinting for it is crazy.
Yo,
though.
sprinting for it in the AM.
Yeah.
And denim, dog.
Yo,
Denim.
Denim.
your pops is greasy.
It's a wild boy.
Well, you told us why, so I mean,
Yeah,
kind of
I
makes
mean-
sense. Kinda.
kinda.
Kind of. As a man, you can rationalize so many more things about certain people you like had thoughts about as a child, like aunts, uncles, whatever, and certain things that they did when you become an adult. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, definitely.
oh, I guess I could see how you can get in that
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? How is that with your music in terms of writing? Because a lot of this music sounds like you just pulled out. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, you pulled out, you picked up the pen and just started writing immediately. You might have stepped inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's my album. That's actually what a great segue into my album. Fuck. Now, for real, I mean, like I've grown up a lot since I was a rapper. Just, I guess when it comes to like life, I skipped a lot of experiences, like, you know, just growing up, like as a teen and shit. So like, I think to sum it all up, I think I was like super duper lonely as a kid, like always just kind of in hotel rooms alone and like just thinking alone. So whenever I had an ounce of company from anybody, I always like treasured it.
Yeah.
And like, I was a serial dater a lot, you know, growing up. And then it
all
kind of, yeah. You know, you just,
Trauma is traumatic.
He is right now. He's still in it. But
Keep going.
I understand.
I'm working on all of us, you know.
Real recognize real.
One day at a time.
Yeah, man. But
One day at a time.
we have ADD. Go ahead.
I really appreciate like company, even in like my present years. I think like in the past like 5 years, I'm a single dude. I'm a bachelor, but I've always kind of like. I had my like fuckboy years and being like a piece of shit, but now I'm like I think my only main priority is like making sure my dreams come true, and like I love music and I like want to do this, but you know I do feel a sense of loneliness too. But with that, I think like I feel a lot of my music comes from fulfilling that loneliness with like people just have like with women having very simple times. Like
Yeah.
my shit isn't my like I'm not. I think a lot of like my bonding is conversation. A lot of my bonding is like I like to engage in extracurricular activities with women.
Okay.
Anal.
Anal.
Hey, later on down the line, when we're comfy. But yeah, no, I like to like I think a lot of my music comes from like quality time with women, and like cool fucking women. And
Yeah.
we're from Toronto. Like this is like the city of very cool fucking girls.
Yeah.
So like, you know, majority of my album, funny enough, is like about those experiences kind of collided with the fact that I have to like chase this dream. I've been chasing it for like more than fucking 10 years at this point. And it's like, I want it really bad, but I kind of just have to go all in. And I guess I just have this like fear, like this male sense of pride where I just like, can't lock somebody down right now and like really get. I just feel like I'm not stable and you know X, Y, and Z to you know.
You got to be
what
okay with
people-
yourself.
Yeah, so I think I have a lot to learn about myself, but you know within that I think a lot of great songs come from that.
Yeah.
You know, just combating loneliness and kind of like being real with myself and being like, you know what, I kind of like her. Fuck, you know. But though a lot of that like kind of just creates these cool uncomfortable feelings that you tend to be comfortable with when you're growing stronger as a man and fucking,
Once
you
you're
know,
over
figuring
it.
yourself out. Yeah, like you gotta cry a shit ton of times and you gotta miss somebody a shit ton of times. And sometimes you meet the right fucking girl, but it's the wrong fucking time.
Yeah.
And you just feel all
talk
these
about it,
fucking
boy.
feelings. But thankfully I'm an artist. I could just go sing about that.
Yeah.
And like I could hear it back. Like a lot of my songs are just that's literally what it is. It's like these memories that just get put into like I guess what's the word?
Time
Immortalized
capsules.
Yeah.
into these songs, which I love, and I kind of want to just do that for the rest of my career because like I think a lot of people could kind of relate to that. Maybe
Yeah,
not like to the T,
Yeah.
but like they find something to relate to in that because it's like I think that's why I like R&B in general. Like it's very lovey, you know.
Yeah.
You're singing in the
It's like
rain.
a companion. It's like a companion almost.
Yeah, so I think I think my personality just goes hand in hand with a lot of the R&B I do listen to till this day too, and you know I'm a softie. It is what it is. Like,
Well,
and
yeah, exactly. Where you're at right now is like it shows in your music. You know,
Yeah.
you're talking about, you know, you're lonely here, you know, you're looking for romance, but you also know you're not in the place. So, like, your music reflects that.
Yeah,
It makes me wonder what, like, music would have been during your fuckboy era. Like,
yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's I think I never kind of looked down on those guys either, really, because it's like, yo, you're growing up, like it is what it is. You're kind of you have to kind of go through this
You'll
period.
be all right, dude.
Yeah,
be good, my
you'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 10 more pussies, right?
Yeah.
Just 10 more?
and every time someone
camera
goes
off
to a
me,
new,
nigga.
you know, this is his fuckboy era, right?
Nah, man, yo, stop doing this for me, please.
You got the straight backs.
Well,
like,
that's what I was gonna
come
say.
on,
It's
brother.
by accident. She just did it, and I was like, I
when
guess.
was your fuckboy era? What hair did you have?
I had a blonde
Did you have
hair.
the straight back, the
Yeah,
blonde
blonde hair?
straight? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a different era. I had a few people tell me, "Oh, do the blonde hair." Back then, I'm like, nah.
That's
Thank
like,
God.
He
That
hates
would've
Sisqo
been-
that
Yeah.
much, yo. Like,
This guy, blonde hair.
yeah, you got something. Whoa, this
You want to
all
look like
just-
Demolition Man out here.
you know what? He was more of a jazz guy from Drew Hill.
Demolition Man is hilarious, bro. Man, I've heard all the insults, like Duracell battery, all that stuff. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Duracell battery.
Nah, but loneliness is like it's like a what do they call it? A pandemic right now, or an epidemic?
Yeah,
Is it epidemic?
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like right now, especially I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with the fact that women have encouraged emotional intelligence in men so much in the past couple of years. Cause like niggas didn't know they were lonely back in the day. You remember that?
Yeah.
Remember you just take it out on people?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I will say I was depressed before it was cool. So
yeah,
I was
big sad
depressed
boy.
before it was
Instant
cool.
depression is greasy. Nah, I rate anyone who was depressed early 2000s.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
new niggas is seasonally depressed.
You just
Yeah.
got here.
Yeah, you
niggas.
bipolar. I was a manic depressant, son.
It's
I
level.
had medication,
I
motherfucker.
had the original. All right.
Yeah, man.
Come
Real
on now.
emo shit, man.
Oh,
Real
man.
emo shit.
I had the bangs and all that.
I can picture that actually.
Bangs,
No,
bro?
I never had the
Okay,
bangs.
Norm's
Never.
bangs.
Damn.
No, you know what?
Norma Bangs and eyeliner.
There was a style called Hauser cuts that Filipinos used to rock, where they had bald hair and then they just left the bangs. They looked like the twins in the Rugrats.
Lil and Phil.
Yeah.
Never heard of
They,
that.
they would, it was the Hauser cut. And
Lillian.
we'd have the big pants.
need to Google this,
The
yeah.
wide leg, the Doc Martens, the side bag
With the mesh shirt.
with the mesh shirts, the white.
Yeah.
It was always white and black, Hauser cut bangs, and yeah, listening to Alias, Follow Me, and fucking Robin S. and all that shit.
Speaking of Filipino, we need you, her, and Sweetie on a track.
Oh hell yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
fire. Like
I-
Guap Dad. Put Guap on
Oh
there.
hell yeah. Shout out Guap.
Full Filipino revolution of the new wave.
Yeah. I think there's so many of us like really coming up,
Yeah.
and we have the quality of music is one thing, and like also too just like I think just the overall like spunk to it. Like I feel Filipino people just got like a certain swag to, you know what I mean?
Look
Like
at Bruno Mars. Like,
Yeah.
he's got like a very particular swag that nobody can emulate.
It's a fact.
It really like none of it comes off as inauthentic.
Yeah.
Like all of it just seems like this is just who I was and y'all are just catching up now.
Yep, we study to a T. Like that's what it is. It's like we refine. Like if we want to dance, like we refine the dance. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like if we want to sing, like you know, well, there's 10,000 hours in the karaoke that we'll sing. You know, so it's like I do like I like to carry that around too. Just being a Filipino singer, like really like pressing that line onto people. Like, no, I really sing. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like a gimmick. Like I can actually do this.
And a lot of
You know,
people
we
are
love-
tapping in with that now.
Yeah, Filipinos love pageantry. Like if you notice, there's pageants everywhere in the Philippines that will have, you know, you see how we are with Miss Universe and shit. Like we love pageantry, and it doesn't go to just pageants. It goes all the way down to like karaoke. When you're performing in karaoke, you're performing it like you're performing in front of a whole crowd of
You
people.
guys don't play. Yeah.
It's
When there's just
entertainment.
3 people there, you're performing in front of your family.
I think you
And
guys
they
are
get-
just great at entertainment in general. I don't even think it's just subjective to just music.
we
'Cause
consume
look
a
at your
lot
family
of it.
thing this weekend. Like your family shit be different than most people. Like most anyone I know is not that well organized. It doesn't look that fun.
Yeah.
Some people say, "Yeah, I'm gonna be doing this." They show up, they didn't get the T-shirt right. They
Yeah,
didn't do-
that's a good point.
You guys look organized every single time. There's always like an itinerary of things to do.
It's not that organized, but it seems organized just because it seems fun and together.
I guess
Yeah, it's still everywhere.
it's still all over the place.
But for the most part, I think when Filipinos just get together, they know to just go all out. So it seems like, oh, they planned this or they
my
do
God,
this.
the
Like,
food.
yeah, we do.
So well
We-
choreographed.
The
and everything.
food. Did you see him explain all the food that
No, I
they
didn't- I
had?
didn't see that.
Jesus.
You guys had
Lord.
lumpias?
Buddy, did we have lumpia? We had 400 lumpias, bro.
Yo.
I need that.
It was crazy. No pancit
People-
though. I didn't see any pancit.
We had japchae because sometimes like pancit is hit or miss because if it gets cold, it ain't hit, it
Yeah.
ain't busted.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have to have
yeah.
it warm straight
I
out.
feel you.
And then and if it comes in warm, then it gets too soft and mushy and stuck together and clumpy.
They'd have some of that
Yeah.
ginger scallion
You know?
to save it though.
I look all ginger scallions. So like loosen up the noodles.
Loosen up the noodle them.
Oh man.
Oh man. Listen.
Wait, I do want to know, when did you start Well, when did you tap into that singing side? Because obviously you started out rapping.
Yeah,
He was always singing too, though, right?
ish. I guess like just being a Filipino kid, doing karaoke as a kid.
Yeah.
I just had like pitch ish. Like I kind of,
Okay.
I had the confidence to sing. I just didn't know how to sing. But I was like a rapper coming up in 2007, 08. So like nobody really wanted to give me a hook that like
Yeah, nobody
sang.
was singing
Like,
like
nobody
that
was
then,
singing like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So like I just wanted to learn how to sing my own hooks. But then Drake came out.
Yep.
And then it was like, oh,
Changed the game.
this guy sings and raps.
Yeah.
I want to sing and rap now like Drake
Yeah.
because he's the fucking like he's the guy.
Yeah.
And like yeah, I guess like he was just like kind of the person who fully inspired me to like even just take a stab at it myself, like recording it and like putting it down and like trying to, you know, I learned pretty much how to sing through like getting an auto-tune plugin, and then I would sing like my favorite songs on auto-tune, like find out the key, sing in the key, and like try to hit like, you know,
Specific keys.
Yeah, try to like have it sound as T-Painy as possible because
Yeah.
that's how I know I hit the note each time.
Yeah.
So like it was kind of like vocal coaching myself just because like yeah, auto-tune deserves no slander.
Yeah.
It
Facts.
gives a lot of artists confidence to like push through with an idea. Like even
Yeah.
if you're not like a full-out singer, like just put the idea out there. Maybe you could get a singer on it later. Little game. But
You have
yeah.
that tonal memory though to like be aware of those notes too. Like you could hear it and be like, okay, now I gotta find that note. A lot of people don't have that natural ear.
Oh my
to
god.
catch.
Yeah.
that's
You
that's tough. I've seen a video actually today of this family. His daughter is in the womb and he's singing the notes over and over again every day.
Damn.
Singing each note, going up the scale or whatever. And then when she's a baby, he's this video of him singing each note over and over and over again. And then when she's like 4 years old, she just knows it. And she just starts reciting it with him, and he starts teaching her like what letter is which. And then he puts her, she's got her back to the piano, and he plays a chord, and she has to guess what notes are in the chord. And then eventually
music
he
training.
just starts playing music, and he says, "Play that." And she just like
is
easy.
incredible, man.
Like I'm like that's first of all dedication.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
such a good skill, I feel like, to teach your child that young. Like
Yeah.
I feel like something like that opens your mind up to so many different possibilities
Yeah.
and things that you can do. Not just like looking at it as like a music thing. Like, oh, if I put my mind to something, I can perfect it eventually. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Or at least get way better at it.
Yeah.
Filipinos can't sing Happy Birthday without harmonizing the last Happy Birthday to you. Right? and naturally, because of like that natural inclination to harmonize,
Yeah.
it just you understand, you start to understand the steps. Well, if the note goes here, there's a and you understand
That's
those
so
three
funny.
levels, so you could almost catch it at any point in time.
Yeah.
Black
You know?
people like
Wow,
to make
exactly.
things gospel.
Yeah.
So like we'll take the happy birthday, especially the black happy birthday song, and people will start clapping like you're in a in a church. Like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
like to make things gospel for some
Yeah.
reason.
What?
It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a well-known R&B song talking about sex. If we could church it up somehow,
Oh hell yeah!
it'll happen.
Shout out Ye. He did that with like his whole
So
discography,
anxious.
right?
Yeah, so
He like literally did the Sunday service shit with I think he did. It was like the most like damn. He made that guy. Oh, Father Stretch My Hands
Yeah.
because he raps
did,
about a
Pony.
bleached asshole in that song, and he was
Your
able to flip it.
spirit
Exactly. He did
all
that.
on me.
He did
Like,
it So Anxious as well.
Yeah, so anxious. Yeah, I love that flip. I love that flip, even though we know he probably wasn't doing it for God. Anyways, there is a lot of talent that comes out of Brampton. Why? Why Brampton?
You know, I think
Is it the flowers? It's the pollination. What's going on in Brampton?
It's the traffic.
The only thing I could at least say is we're away from a lot, and we're like.
Left to your own devices.
Yeah, it's just like it being is like we're all the way in the suburbs, kind of tucked away. There's some hoods, but like even though like even that is just like it's so away from Toronto.
Yeah.
So like we're kind of even if you do see a lot of kids go, like my Brampton childhood was like loitering and shit, but like it was so much that came out of loitering, so many great conversations and like. When Chief Keef came out, like loitering to Chief Keef was amazing.
Yeah.
It's like still so fucking sick. I'm like 30, I still fucking loiter to Chief Keef. Like it's incredible.
Yeah.
But I think off like a lot of loitering that we do in parking lots
McDonald's
and just like
parking lots and shit.
Yep.
Shoppers World.
Exactly. Like
Four corners.
I call Brampton Scarborough West now. Because in the same way Scarborough was this immigration hub, it was so far away from everything, so everyone just stayed in Scarborough.
Yeah.
The only
the same
problem is
way-
they don't have the TTC in the subway.
Yes.
Yeah,
connected.
that's really like we're just we have like one. I think there's like 2 go buses and trains like that.
You have to go to Four Corners and catch a go bus to get downtown. Shit's
Yeah, it's
crazy.
nuts. But I do feel like, you know, a lot of that hanging out, like chilling and shit, and like kind of just meshing of different people chilling.
Yeah.
Is like we're a very chill city. You know what I mean? Like I think too, like my whole personality is literally like half of a fucking skater kid and then half of like a I wouldn't say like a gangster, but like
Hood kids,
like a hood kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got both because I feel like that's what Brampton, like my Brampton childhood was, as like a kid that like consumed a lot of music from the people I hung out around and like consumed a lot of culture. Like I liked skate shit and I liked, you know, I never skated myself.
Yeah.
But it was just like being around rowdy white kids.
The aesthetic.
And like,
The aesthetic was dope.
yeah, and I think like just even the high schools were just like a bit rough. Like you had you had mixes of kids from like the suburbs, but also the hood.
Oh yeah.
Coming into one, so like you go to the house party, there's like a white girl's house party, but you see a couple of your black friends there, and you're like, oh, cool, we all
Let's
cool, we're all invited.
It was always that for me.
Oh my god!
Who has the phone? Who has the phone?
And that's the person who has the phone.
But
See that DVD collection?
My niggas used to put the phone in their shoe under their foot and be like, no one's leaving until we find this.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
you niggas are foul individuals, bro. Like that
Stealing
shit's
Blackberries.
So crazy. Oh man, before Find My iPhone, you had to keep that Blackberry on a keychain, nigga.
Yeah,
That shit, you lose that, it's done.
Yeah.
You're finished.
All your BBM shorties
All your
are gone.
BBM contacts are done. There's no
BBM,
Rolodex
wow.
for that. That shit is
Now you gotta get
no.
broadcast.
Swagberry. Yo. And one thing I noticed about Brampton people, out of all my friends, Brampton people switch up their friends the least. I feel like Brampton people stay friends with whoever they were friends with the whole time.
It's like some war shit.
The
You know-
majority of my Brampton friends they've been friends since high school.
That's like Scarborough. Scarborough too.
Scarborough too, in
Yeah.
that way. But
That's a good
Toronto's where I
parallel.
see the mix up and blend. Like
Yeah.
when you go to Scarborough, you go to Brampton, even Saga. I feel like Saga has that too, where it's like people stay friends
Yeah.
from like high school and like they don't really switch circles
Right,
like
yeah.
that. You know those girls are constantly in a different friend
That's
circle.
exactly what I was thinking of. I'm like, the amount of girls,
course.
like, and then this girl did this, and I'm like, you're the problem. But I'm not gonna say it.
You're
But
always the problem.
You
It's
know?
always you.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Yo, I remember there was this one girl, I won't name her. But back in the day, man,
Troubles.
trouble, dog. Yo, you see her mixed with like 7, I kid you not, 7 different friend groups 1 year. And like 3 of them were like, yo, she's a thief. One girl said she stole her panties. Do you know?
Yo, you sick lady.
Do you know how sick? You gotta be to steal the LaVion Rose?
down bad, bro?
Down.
That's nasty work.
Down atrocious. Oh
It wasn't
my
even
God.
Licenza.
Not even a Licenza, LaVion Rose, my
Where do you
God.
even stash that? Pocket or backpack?
Shit.
Yeah, how do you
tell
steal
me,
as a
brother?
chick? Like hurts, right? I feel
That,
it's,
nigga.
You gotta pad the bra with that joint.
Yo, make
Yeah,
sure you
well-
put a star beside the best segments, brother.
Yeah.
I forgot to,
Hold on,
I forgot
did you say
to,
ask
I forgot to tell you.
You
Yo,
should know.
I told Matt about, no, I told Patrick. I didn't even tell Matt. I told Patrick about a podcast that I wanted to film. I was like, it's a sex podcast. Here, Matt, yo, if you need me to tag in there. Matt's like, yo, if you need me to tag in there, I got you. Too much WWE, brother. Yo, did you hear they signed with Netflix?
$5 billion.
What?
$5 billion WWE
That's a
got
$5
signed by
billion
Netflix.
deal?
Shout out John Cena.
Netflix?
Yeah.
Wait, so who paid?
That's what I'm saying. No way Netflix has that.
Netflix or
Netflix paid for the rights of WWE.
Oh nah, bro, they're gonna renege. Netflix
they're
has
not
been
gonna
struggling
renege?
for a long time.
No. This is gonna get them their money back.
You think so?
Bro, I promise you this.
10 years?
Anytime there is a WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, anything happening, go on Twitter.
You're right.
It is the number one trending
It's a very
topic.
big community.
And you will see 20 to 30 of your followers talking about wrestling. Wrestling has not died. It's only gotten bigger.
It's a
Yeah.
huge demo too. Like the ages just range.
I thought
so
after
much.
The Rock and Stone Cold,
Yeah.
we were done.
Yeah.
I was like, this is it.
Speaking of friends from Brampton, one of my best friends till this day, like more than a decade, is from Brampton. And he's like a fucking wrestling fanatic. Like he's
Okay.
like fully in there. Like, and he loves it. And he makes me kind of want to get into
Yeah?
it. Cause I'm like, yo, you're like glued to this shit. And it's pretty fire. Like you look really happy. Like I kind of want to join you.
Yeah, the ones
So,
that love it.
Start
man.
a podcast. You and him. WWE podcast.
It's honestly
where you
funny.
just teach me in real time everything from the bone.
So Jimmy Snooker fly, right? Yo, my
R.I.P.
favorite
Owen
was,
Hart.
who was your favorite wrestler? Top three.
I never watched it like that, but Steve Austin, Booker T, because Spinaroonie, that was crazy.
Spinaroonie!
Who
Did you
else
know
was-
that
Rey
he-
Mysterio too?
Did you know that he did the Spinaroonie in like combat of oppression? Like he was like in a he was in like a very racist like wrestling league, and he did it on some like I swear
Combat of
the
oppression.
white
fact check.
man.
I'll show you.
No, dead ass. Yeah, it was some shit like that. I hope. Don't hold me to it. Actually, I don't want to say I swear on this, but I watched that shit
like
on YouTube.
That's like when the pandemic was happening.
Yeah,
and they showed those niggas fucking crooked.
At the BLM march
Yeah.
in front
Every
of the
time I
police.
see that video, I'm like, oh
man.
So
God.
wait, it was called what? What was it called? COO? Something of oppression? What did you call
Oh no,
it?
he was. I guess like there's just racist dudes there, so he was just like
That was his
combating the
protest.
oppression.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
He was
okay.
combating the oppression with like, yo, let me just fucking
With
hit
the
this
spinaroonie.
spinaroonie. Yeah. And they loved it and shit, and it was like, oh fuck,
whoa,
this dude's
I'm not racist.
crazy. Yeah.
I love black people.
But somebody fact check though. I feel like that's it though. But I remember.
That's a funny origin story. Though,
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah.
Wrestling ends racism.
They started calling him nigga with an A.
My nigga.
Wait, we were talking about wrestlers though. What was your?
Okay, so yeah,
Stone Cold.
Yeah, Stone Cold Steve
Gold
Austin.
Dust.
Booker,
Sorry, my bad. Sorry.
Booker T, and then Rey Mysterio.
My fault.
Nice.
Rey Mysterio.
Shout out
Okay.
Booker T.
Rey Mysterio's a real nigga.
Yeah, man, he had that move where you went between the ropes and
Yeah, I know the move.
kicked people.
You gotta explain it.
I tried it.
Of course.
I didn't have any ropes.
Did you guys jump from couch to couch too? Like
Had
to
to.
pretend to do all the moves?
to,
Yo,
man.
had to. Those are the ropes to me.
Yeah,
My
and had a little
couches.
sister too, so it's like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
let me try this real quick.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Straight up in the air with suplexes. Who's your top three?
I would have to say
Andre the Giant.
no Hackshaw, Jim Duggins. He was a dude that
Yep.
was like he had the 4x4.
He definitely said nigger. There's no doubt in my mind. Hacksaw Jim Duggan said
Yeah,
nigger.
he didn't care about the
Him and the
Spinaroonie.
Bushwhackers. For
He had big get off my lawn energy, dog.
I would say so. Yeah, him and fucking who else is there? Not Ravishing. Fucking what's that guy's name?
$1 Million Man?
Razor
Oh,
Ramon.
Razor Ramon. Chico.
Razor 8, Chico.
That's fine.
I just used to love how disrespectful he was when he threw the toothpick in people's face.
Yeah, man. R.I.P. my dog.
Yeah.
Scott Hall. That was his real name.
Scott Hall. And I guess to round it out,
Man, when he was
only because it was I don't really care for him, but it was just funny when I found out that Kofi Kingston wasn't actually from Jamaica. I just called him Kingston.
Sean Kingston.
Yeah.
Mine is I'm definitely The Rock is number one.
Okay.
Without a doubt. just the most electrifying man in
Very,
sports
yeah.
entertainment. I used to go to school and quote, try to do his
It
lives.
doesn't matter what you
Yeah,
think.
We'll kick your Rudy Poo. That nigga went off. Stone Cold
Yeah.
at number 2, and number 3 is Goldberg.
Really?
Goldberg, to me, I still don't think anybody could beat him.
Yeah.
As a kid, I confused the two.
Who?
Stone Cold Steve Austin and Goldberg.
I can see why.
What?
Yeah. Because I'm like, they're both
Goldberg
like,
was just a more jacked version of him.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking Goldust still. Sorry.
Yo, Goldust's character was so problematic, dog.
was Goldust?
His
Think
finishing
Goldust.
move was he'd make out with you, and they would just,
Whoa. What is that?
they would
First
put the
he
camera into
first he
the
would
audience.
blow you
Yeah.
with dust.
Okay, well, I mean, that's the biggest
Hit
part
you
of
with
that
dust,
sentence.
and then when your eyes, then when you're like, they're like,
But that
rubbing
was
their
the
eyes and
metaphor.
shit,
Oh, yeah.
you bring them down to the ground, and you start making out with them, and they pull the camera back.
What?
So like the nosebleed, so you wouldn't see him making out with him, and then you'd come back, and it's just like 1, 2.
Yo, this guy's outfit is sick, bro.
Yo, this is crazy. Goldust's
This is
outfit.
like Freaky Spawn.
I kind of fuck with it without the mask.
Yeah?
Cisco.
But you do realize, you know, that was LGBTQ before LGBTQ.
Oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
They're super progressive
WWE
with doing
was mad
that.
progressive, yo.
Yeah,
He was an ally. Let's go.
Him and the
go.
other guy,
Oh, hold on.
Rashiki.
Rikishi.
Oh, Rikishi.
Rikishi.
Yeah, that was some
Rikishi,
wild
yeah, there's a Cisco connection again. The thong, he'd rub that shit in your face every single
was
time
so
in the
crazy,
corner.
man.
That's-
Oh wait, Ultimate Warrior. Sorry, I gotta take one out and say Ultimate Warrior. Because just watching his like cocaine tirades. Like,
Did he start the whole like you're losing and it looks like you're about to lose and then you come back with like a power thing? Because I remember Hulk Hogan used to be like, people would slap him in his back, right? And he'd rip off the shirt and just start going like this and just walking around like, oh yeah, brother. Oh, nigger, brother.
I was about to mention him earlier when you were saying like people likely to say it.
Facts.
Man.
And then Ultimate Warrior, I remember would go to the ropes and you'd hit him and he'd just be like, and then he just starts shaking the ropes like crazy and you're like, oh, this guy's about to go ham. Like,
So funny.
I love it when wrestlers would play Mercy. They'd be like,
oh yeah.
let's go. They'd lock hands. They'd be like, yeah. Who's gonna win in this game of Might and Mercy? And then the one guy starts falling to his knees like, no. I am vanquishing my foe. But then, out of nowhere, the guy on the ground will let go and then uppercut him,
Yup.
and then it'll start. And then
Yeah.
you know?
And everyone boos.
And then
You're supposed to play Mercy. Where's your Mercy integrity? That's crazy.
Low key, wrestling crowds are fire.
They're the
They're the most pumped up.
They're like
the best.
actually like into the storyline of everything going
time,
on.
yeah.
They
and
hear
you can get
one note.
fucked up there.
Yeah.
You can get fucked up and go to WrestleMania.
And
Get
say
more
some
fucked up.
fire.
and say some fucked up shit and not get kicked out.
Oh yeah. They fucking threw shit at Shawn Michaels. You ever seen that gif of that video of Shawn Michaels back in the day where he's walking out and people, he was such a villain at this time.
Yeah.
People are throwing their drinks at him and popcorn, all this shit, and he just stays in character, flashes his hair and just wipes it back, and he's just like looking like, yeah, motherfuckers. Like, it was the sickest moment because
Yeah, that's actually.
you should have been kicked out for that.
Yeah.
But he just added it
Embracing
to
it,
his
yeah.
story. I was
That's
like, oh,
fire.
that's fire, dog.
That's
that was
really fire.
amazing. Yeah, wrestling, good times, man. That's man soap operas right there.
Shout out John Cena. I'm just keep on shouting out
Big
my
up
man.
John Cena. The rap, yeah, was he the first rapping wrestler?
No, there's Men on a Mission. Mom. There are 3 black guys.
Of course.
That would rap. Mabel was the big dude.
Oh wow, I
And
remember
then
that
there was
name.
2 other dudes. And they'd be like, Men on a Mission. Mom. Yo, Men on a Mission.
Devon Dudley. It was he. No, what's his not Devon Dudley. Devo Brown. Dudley.
No,
something.
Devo Brown's a DJ
What's
from
his name? The
Toronto.
guy that-
Shout out Devo Brown.
Shout out Devo Brown.
Love wrestling?
Nation of Domination, yes.
Nation
No,
of
the
Domination.
guy that did this. What was his name again?
Like this. D'Lo Brown.
D'Lo Brown. Yeah, I knew that was his name.
D'Lo or Devo?
Is it D'Lo or Devo?
D'Lo Brown.
D-Lo.
Okay.
Okay.
D'Angelo Russell Brown. All right, got it.
All I gotta say is John Cena said, "I'm hot. You'll never catch me in a next man's sweater." What? You won't catch me in his hoodie ever. I'm just too hot to wear his hoodie.
What does that even mean?
I got to
I don't know, but it's fucking amazing.
But it gets the
Catch me in
people
another
going.
man's sweater.
Yeah, he
It's
was wild, man.
provocative.
With those jean shorts.
So you got an album coming.
Yes. Shout out John Cena.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Is this all R&B?
Yeah.
Are you hanging up rapping, or is this just for this moment? You just feel like R&B is just what you're in the mode for.
Yeah, I've kind of been hung it up.
Okay.
Couple of years now, but like, it's
So we're
kinda,
never getting it back.
I'm a hip hop fan before anything.
Yeah.
So it's like I kind of would rather live my life in that rather than like participating in, because like I love talking about it. Like
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah.
And I think when I was a rap artist, I never talked about it like I truly liked it. I was just so frustrated by everything.
True.
And I don't kind of have that stress within R&B because I feel like I found an identity for myself.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm kind of able to just mold into whatever I feel like within this genre and kind of like add myself to it. So
Yeah.
thankfully, like I had some friends like in the embryonic stages of my rebrand of like just kind of like I had a friend named Kevin Sideout who did the guitar on Scarlet's Weekend, and just kind of like building the sound with him and my producer Kyle. Kyle made everything on my album. He makes pretty much like all like literally is the music score to my life. So yeah, like just kind of molding it with them. I found so much of a joy in creating that I was like, I just want to stay here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this is sick. And if I ever need to like put any rap on anything, I'll just write for somebody else. Really. Like
Yeah.
I could write a 16 like nothing. Like it's literally like there's so many hours put into rapping for me that like it's like I can kind of just write for somebody else and like kind of just
Yeah.
keep it going.
It's just always flowing, right?
Yeah.
Drop the beat right now. No, I'm kidding. Imagine.
I'm hot. You'll never catch me.
Gold dust.
Yeah.
We blowing niggas out the frame.
Shout out Rikishi. Shout out Rikishi. Shout out Rikishi.
That ass. Oh my God. Hold on.
But yeah, I think if anything, rap aids my pen in R&B because I think a lot of R&B is like it's not really too reliant on things to be like. I think you just gotta say very little but mean a lot, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like
Less is more.
Yeah, and what I could say in 16 bars could be like fully experienced in 4 if I just sing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it hits harder for at least the people I want to appeal to and
Yeah.
to listen to me. You know what I mean? And I think
And that one, you can have already said 14 words
Facts.
in rap. But that one,
Depends
got
on if
people
you're white or
singing,
not.
You know what I mean?
You know the white boys be spitting fast.
Yeah.
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 Hey, I think every rapper I would at least say East Coast rapper goes through their phase where like that's like I think that's your first phase when like becoming a rapper.
Is it fast rap?
Like you just want to say, okay, this is what I equate it to. I actually just want to put this down on like any sort of outlet.
Okay.
I think rapping fast and like all the multis and like doing all that is equivalent to when singers add too many runs to something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's like
Overdoing it.
Yeah, you're like kind of overdoing it. Like you
Is
get
that
it.
R.
Like you
Kelly's,
could.
Exactly. We get it. Exactly. We get you can.
It's not about
I
this.
believe
It's
I
not.
can fly.
It's not about what's good for the song anymore. It's about you trying to show off your technical ability.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And that's what I get what you mean when you say like early rappers because they want to show that they have the full extent of what rapping is, or they know the history, the lineage, all that bullshit. But yeah, no, a lot of times you have to all the time you have to focus on what's right for the song.
Facts.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And
Busta Rhymes doing "Look at Me Now" is a Jasmine Sullivan riff.
Damn, bro.
Okay.
Jasmine.
but it's a good fucking.
Don't be like
Well,
this.
that's
no,
fine.
but I'm just saying it's like a strong
okay, yeah.
technical riff. Like
Yeah.
not many people could actually do what Busta does
Yeah.
in the same way not many people could do what Jasmine.
Jasmine's
Her
Jasmine's
runs.
turns into challenges.
Yeah.
You know
Her
what I
runs
mean?
are
Like-
incredible, man.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
It's-
think
that's wild.
I think there's a time and place for a lot of that, right? But like to fully base hip hop around having to rap big words over boom bap is just nuts. I think that's like super ignorant.
Yeah.
Like my favorite, like fucking Tyler even quoted this, but it's like one of my favorite bars. Like when Playboy Cardi says, "I bought a mom from my house off this mumbling shit." Like that shit is cool to me. Like
Yeah.
those one-liners that really hit you. A lot of like Detroit rappers like V's and shit have these like one-liners
These
that
has
are like
mad one-liners.
yo, and it's like I love that, like, the bending the rules and fucking, you know what I mean, making styles. I think like that's even just talking about this is like I get passionate about just being the consumer so much.
Yeah.
You know what
No,
I
I
mean?
get
Like
it.
I hate when like certain like my old rapping self would just be like, what would I do in this situation?
Yeah,
Like,
you bring
and
your
that's-
own shit into
yeah,
it
it's like
and
nah.
jade it.
Like
Yeah.
I love being a fan now.
Yeah.
So like yeah, I've just when it comes to hip hop, like I'm kind of like a student of the game and like so many niche things like blog rap and like
Yeah.
these pockets.
Did you
I'm on like a
listen
Chief
to-
Keef wave right now, like an early Chief Keef. Like
okay, I think the new shit.
nah, just his new shit is fucking incredible.
You
but
should
like,
listen to the pwEJR podcast.
yeah.
take it
Shout
in?
out It's Real.
That
Yeah,
shit
they're
was
dope.
amazing.
Yeah,
man.
they-
that brought me back, bro.
Yep.
Have you heard it?
No.
It's amazing. Like they basically detail like all the major blogs from back in the day that were like literally launched a lot of artists.
Yeah.
And they talk about like the rise and fall, like the heyday when it was like at its peak, and then when it just fell off because of streaming
Yeah.
and all this other shit that
yeah.
the internet and social media just got bigger.
Yeah.
But that was a moment.
Yeah, it's kind of like how I fell in love with content and
Yeah.
doing this shit. So funny enough, like that's kind of how I run what I do now. Like I run it with a lot of the spirit of what blog rap was.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I always kind of excite my fan base a lot really well, because like I kind of just loved how I would wait to get like Wiz's mixtape. You know what I mean? Back in the day. Like that shit was sick. And like I love, as a fan, I love that shit. Making those moments where like those mixtape moments were so
Yeah.
sick. When the drought was coming out and shit,
Yeah.
like
Bro,
so
when
like
Detroit 2 came. I mean, no, I'm tripping. What the fuck? Detroit 1.
Detroit 1 was fucking amazing.
My big shot.
I think it's tough. It's tougher these days to create that feeling because back in the day, not everybody knew what Dat Piff was. Not
Yeah.
everybody knew what
Yeah.
SoundClick was. So when you got it, you're like, yo, it's only me and this like community of people
Yeah.
that have this. Whereas now with streaming, which is why I still find it so cool when artists like are like, no, I'm just gonna put on SoundCloud and YouTube or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little
'Cause-
mixtape kind of mentality.
because it gives you that same feel of like, oh, not everybody has this,
Yep.
or not everybody has access to this.
Yeah.
and I can kind of enjoy this with people who want to find it because
Yeah.
realistically, a lot of people don't know how to find music.
Yeah.
And especially
Yeah.
new music. So if they are going to your SoundCloud page for the update, then they really actually fuck with you.
dedication.
It's
Yeah.
not like it was on streaming and
It's on a playlist,
Spotify's playlist or algorithm said you might like this. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
cool. I love that. I love finding new artists that way. It's not the same feeling
Yeah,
as finding
at
it
all.
myself and being
Yeah.
like
Yep.
taking the
In the
dirt off it
depths.
and just be like, oh, look at this shiny
Yeah.
shit I found. Like,
Yeah.
But I love how,
SoundCloud
like,
and
to
then-
you guys, that SoundCloud, for my era, it was like your cousin that went to New York and came back with some mixtapes.
the guy at the barber shop,
the guy at the barber
who has the
shop.
binder full of fucking
know?
burnt CDs and shit.
And then even before that, it was like the DJ that actually took the time to go to the record shop and then put it onto a tape.
you wouldn't even know
You know?
some of the song names.
Yeah.
Because like they'd
Oh,
put like
shit.
they might put all the songs on like the back of the CD or whatever.
Yeah.
But the times are wrong. Like you gotta kind of guess which one is which.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
all over. But that's what made it fun.
Facts.
That's what made it fun. There's some
Yeah.
songs where I didn't know the song unless it blended into another song because this is the only place I've ever heard it. Like I thought Chris Brown's what was it? The one where it's like your man ain't me. You remember Your Man Ain't Me by Chris Brown? Big
Oh,
tune
yeah,
on
yeah,
his, on his first album.
Yeah, first album, yeah.
I thought because I downloaded it off this website, it only gave me the first verse and the hook. So I thought that was The whole song.
The whole thing.
Until like maybe 7 years ago, I heard the real full song, and I was like, "There's another verse. Like, there's a bridge. What the fuck?"
It's probably
Like,
mixed in like a blended, like with
I
a
even would
DJ
say-
timing.
Exactly.
The
I would
DJs
even
get
say the
first verse of the
website
hook.
at the same time as it would, because it would always be at the same part, hiphopbeats.com. And I'd always just say it because I'm like, I know that's where this is. This is
There
supposed
was
to be.
one when you got My Boo on MP3. There was one where it was just this dude. And he's like Tape Masters.
Tape masters. Damn,
my
son.
God.
There was that. There was
There was
the
Monster.
Bill
I don't
Clinton.
know if you had Monster. Remember Monster, the Kanye West, whatever. There was a version from LimeWire that skipped. I don't know if it was Nicki's verse.
Oh
or if
yeah, I think
Kanye.
it was Ross's verse.
Ross, okay, yeah, but
And it was
Yeah.
just Nicki and Jay's verse.
No, it was the whole
No,
song, but
there
it
was
would
like a
skip at a
glitch.
certain part every time. So I knew, I'm like, okay, you got it from the same site. I know that.
Yeah.
Then you have that one where it's like hiphopbeats.com, 1,000 beats. I was like, yo, this nigga putting in work, bro.
Man.
Him and Soulja Boy had LimeWire on lock. On lock. Because you download anything. I remember downloading porn one time. And all I heard, I pressed play. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Yo,
This nigga
that was
does
a
not
hustle.
sleep, bro.
That was a
He
hustle,
does
though.
not sleep. How do you get on Big Booty 35? Like,
That's crazy.
Onionbooty.com.
I got an Onion Booty Hood Edition, and this nigga, and then some of them would get cheeky. They'd mix in fucking Soulja Boy and put Bill Clinton on it. You hear, I did not have sexual
Oh my
relations.
God.
I'm like, what kind of mix?
That's such a troll, man.
It was the first Rickroll.
Yeah, no.
He invented Rickrolling.
Facts.
Wow, Soulja Boy's the first Rickroll. That's crazy. That's crazy.
We owe everything to you, King Soldier. We love you, King Soldier.
Yo, I remember this Brilliant Idiots episode.
Yeah.
It's probably the greatest episode they've ever had.
I think I remember this one.
Where they basically show away that Soulja Boy is God himself. He's Jesus. He's
I
the
can
son
see
of
it.
God.
Oh yeah, I can see
And they're
it.
like soul, Jah, the soul of Jah.
Yeah. But they broke it down. Like, they started at, like, another level. Like, now he's the first one to do it.
Yeah.
What's the you? The post. Like, they kept breaking it down. Like, it was
That
like,
makes a
was
lot of
dying,
sense.
It was a
bro.
great episode,
That was one
man.
of the greatest episodes ever.
Wow.
But anyways, the new album. When is it dropping?
End of February.
End
Actually.
of February. Okay. When the love is done, when black people are finished. All right, niggas, wrap it up.
get out of here.
Shout out Black
Is
History
that
Month.
Asian Appreciation Month?
No, that's in May.
It's May. I thought it was March.
And then
Shout out
June
Black History
is-
Month, though.
Yeah. It's you guys got one extra day this year. It's a leap year. yo.
let's go. Niggas for an extra day.
What's the year? Is it 6 or 7 years every?
It's every 4 years.
4. There we go. Yeah. Somebody told me that the other day.
So
So
wait.
I hope you, I don't know if you guys knew this, but originally the calendar was 13 months,
Yeah.
and every month had 28 days.
Yep.
And that's why we have
That's
the-
because
So-
it's if you look at the starting of each month, like Sept is really 7, Oct is really 8.
Yeah.
And so on and so
November
forth.
9, you
Like
know?
these are all like it's literally telling you in the name, but they got rid of the month for some reason.
What's the next one? What's the next prefix? Because I know
November's
DC,
11.
Deca is in Greek
Yeah.
is 12. But what's 13? You guys know?
I couldn't tell you.
No
Is it
idea.
dodeca? I think it might be.
This nigga.
Math niggas, come on, bro.
Why are you looking at the Asian guys? What's... Come on, Duke.
I'm like,
This guy looks straight at Norm like, Yeah, I have no idea.
it's one of those.
I sucked at math. That was not good. So the album's coming end of February.
Yeah.
Can we expect another single?
Yeah. I actually have one dropping this week. Funny enough, on
let's-
Friday.
Let's go.
Friday.
It's Friday. Don DeMarco, Marco.
Hold on, I need more bombs for this.
Okay.
And it's a 2-pack.
Two-pack Shakur.
Hell yeah.
Is any features
No, just both me.
on the album?
No. Just on
Just
me.
you.
Oh,
All right.
I like
Okay.
Just on me. I think like for my first effort, I kind of just wanted to hop
Very
up and
nice.
get,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, let me,
Pop
you know,
your shit, man.
Yeah, this is
Then
my
get
thing.
the her duet. You know, her love a good male-female duet.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I've always kind of wanted to do a duet with somebody, and I'd be so down to write it. It's just 'cause it's kind of like finding that person, because I really want to do some like, I really want to cement myself in a duet, kind of like the Nelly Kelly Rowland thing. You know what I mean? Like nowadays though,
Like a best part.
Yeah, like kind of just put. I really want to find somebody that
You
like
and Looney would be
suits.
fire.
Looney's dope. Shout out Looney.
You
She
and
works with
Looney
my friend
would be
Adam.
fire.
Shout out Looney.
Nice.
Who else? You and Looney. Who else in this city that I fuck with a lot? You and Dylan St. Clair would make some.
Shout out
Oh, you guys would be
Dylan.
a problem.
Oh my
You
god,
guys would be a problem.
that would be some heat.
Oh my
with
God.
just
Shout
some
out to
strings.
Filipinos.
Dog, Babyface
Yeah.
Assassin. That guy's dangerous, man.
Yeah, he's deadly. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
Dylan's
lot.
dope.
There's so much R&B in this city.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many.
I love it.
Yeah.
So many, and like not just like people who sing R&B. Like they're actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
Some
mean?
good
Like
I like adding to it too. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm kind of shooting for. I think there's like a bit of a chip on my shoulder that I could admit to myself, where I actually like really want people to know I'm fucking R&B. Like
Yeah.
I do this, but I just don't have my body of work out yet, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think this will like cement that and like really let people know, like, oh, I actually like do this. Like I write this shit and can pop it. So
Yeah.
it's and what I love about it too is just like it's honest, and a lot of artists say that they don't fucking mean it. Like this is really honest to the point where I like still listen to the songs. I've had the copy of the album for like a year now, and
Shit.
it's still not old to me. Like I still cry to it.
is there a fear of putting it out because it's so honest?
No, do you know what's funny is it's like I've been wanting to put out because it's that honest, but like I went through a lot of hoo-ha before all this on
Yeah.
the business end. So that took a lot of time and a lot of stress. I had 2 very dark years of just kind of like, confusion, like where the fuck is this gonna go, but still kind of I'll put it all into like this perspective. It was like Pursuit of Happiness, but when
in
Will
the
Smith was
bathroom.
like,
Yeah.
he's like, and he's carrying all those machines and like walking into all these places. That's like me with my album to like
Yeah.
labels and just everybody that I could like believe in this, please. Like I recorded it all. Like I have this concept, and
Yeah.
like everybody was kind of, they were like, all right. Let us know when it works,
Yeah.
kind of just like hit us when it works. And I just kind of kept taking that to the chin, like, shit, all right, another Don't Call Us, we'll call you. Like, it is what it is. But I knew I had something.
Yeah.
Especially when it's
And-
R&B.
Yeah.
Like, it's
like-
particularly harder with R&B. Like with rap, there's so many different gimmicks and things that you
Exactly.
can
That's
pull
the right
off.
word, too.
If you know the right people, you can get that shit off no problem. People don't see dollar signs when they hear R&B, and they're not as invested in the idea right away.
Yeah.
You got to kind of like bring them to it, and it's already been established, and then they're gonna be like, oh, okay,
Yeah, and I think the avenue I'm trying to take it to is, I wouldn't say it's new in any way or just like extravagantly, innovative. It's
Yeah.
just, and what I love about growing older and like realizing things and like going to therapy and like really realizing like it's my thing. There's nobody that could do it like me.
Exactly.
So there's no like comparison, which I love. I'm just doing what I would do in the R&B space.
Yeah.
And I want to add that to so many other things, like especially like with my influences. Like I want to work with all of my influences and like add me to their songs.
Who are some of your influences?
Usher for sure. Off top, T-Pain. Like my
Chad
Grammy
Kroeger.
speech is going to have Usher and T-Pain's name in it, like for sure. Like both of them, just for so many reasons of like Usher being like You Make Me Wanna was like the first song I did a dance routine to, like because I used to do like jazz and a bunch of shit back in the day, like as a kid. So like I just loved how he was able to like tell these stories, or even like tell Jermaine Dupri's story on fucking Confessions ever so well, but like do it in an R&B. Like if you kind of listen to Confessions Part 2, it's like even Confessions Part 1, like both verses are kind of like formatted like rap verses if you kind of think about it. Like and it's so cool how he was able to like melodically put that together and stitch it. And then you have like T-Pain who like I hate this whole like thing of how everybody's like, oh, like yeah, he could. I didn't know he could sing without. He always knew how to sing. It's just the auto tune was like a little sprinkle on to like all this shit, but he
It's a
always
sound.
knew how to sing.
That
He
Tiny
just-
Desk a couple years back was when people finally realized
Yeah.
and tapped in, because a lot of people had never been to a T-Pain show, which is insane. Like his shows are next level because he's kind of like a Bruno Mars, where it's like him and like 2 of his boys or 3 of his boys, and they're dancing the whole time, singing, choreographed.
Yep.
Like He goes all out.
So
He
lovable.
puts on a
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
And he's singing every single word. No backing track, no nothing. So it's like to think, and honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with people not understanding auto-tune.
Yeah.
I think they think that no matter what you sing, it's just going to correct your
Yep.
shit. But you have to know how to sing in
Yep,
order to get
exactly.
the full potential of it
Yeah.
out of it. And like he undoubtedly used the full potential of auto-tune.
He has one song, I think, on the Three Rings album called "Keep Going." That like him, guitar, no auto tune. Well, like probably like minimal auto tune.
Yeah.
For the technical people, like the retune speed is not at 0. But like it's like, you know, he's just singing. He's
Yeah.
just singing his feelings, and it's like it's a song about like his kids and shit, and it's like it could bring somebody to tears. But I'm like, this guy is like so much more than this like auto
Buy you a
tune
drink.
thing.
Yeah.
Like he's actually fucking amazing.
You heard his
And, like,
last album of covers?
Oh yeah. Like he did that, and he can do that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He can do that. People don't realize he
Yeah.
can do that. And I think now that he's like on his independent wave and like he's putting out what he wants to put out, he could finally express that in the social media age.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm super proud of T-Pain. Usher and
He
T-Pain.
he sings with so much soul, even through
And
auto
conviction.
tune.
Yeah.
he could probably make a robot cry. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in love with the stripper remix verse by him. Is an amazing fucking verse. If
Yeah.
anybody ever listened to how he executed that whole thing, him and
I think Chopped
Paul
and
Wall.
Screwed is super underrated as a song.
Yeah.
Him Chopped and Screwed with Ludacris, I think is one of the most underrated songs literally of all time. Like that song is amazing.
That was
Luda's
like
verse is incredible. Like it's
I
such
never
a good song.
you know, you meet like certain people that want to like act like they know all the old shit just to like impress people.
Yeah.
I could never be that way. That was my fucking generation R&B.
Yeah.
I'll always claim that. I'll always be proud of that. Like Chris Brown, Wall to Wall.
Oh, yeah.
Like first Chris Brown album. Like that was my R&B.
B2K. This
that
nigga
got
didn't,
me.
he didn't fuck with B2K.
You didn't like B2K?
Yo, you know what's super crazy about B2K?
They were bubblegum.
Gots to
because
Be was sick though.
The one.
R. Kelly wrote that though.
Bump, bump, bump.
What's
He
Gots
wrote
to
most
Be
of them.
again? What a girl.
Gots to be the one you want.
No, the only song that I liked by B2K when I was like, you know what, these guys are. What a girl wants.
Beautiful song.
What a
Yeah,
girl
yeah.
needs. What a girl
Yo, I'm Lil
wants. That's the only
Fizz.
joint that I was like,
And I'm
Shout out Lil
Fizz. And I know exactly what it is a girl wants. You remember when niggas used to talk to you on the track?
Bro, B5 All I Do when the dude just had
Fire. I was so mad when I found out that wasn't the original song.
Oh yeah,
What?
yeah.
That's
I didn't know
old
that it
one,
was a
man.
cover, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
was pissed. I was
Yeah.
livid. But that, yo, do you realize that B2K was only 2 years?
Stop. What?
Bro, go back
Oh, yeah,
and
they
look
were,
at the
yeah.
time.
It was
Yeah.
only 2 years?
That was a 2-year thing.
They were just
Incredible
killing
run.
shit, and then they,
They
had like
had
You
a
Got Served and
greatest
shit.
hits in 2004, and they dropped their first single in 2002. They had a greatest hits in 2004.
That's
Chris
incredible.
Stokes, you will pay for your crimes, sir.
Yeah.
You will fucking pay for your crimes. I
You're a
know this was you. You ruined IMX. This nigga
IMX.
ruined Marcus Houston.
Yeah. Nah, yeah.
What happened?
Man, shout out Marcus Houston.
Marcus did for
He
sure,
almost
but
ruined
yes.
Janae Aiko. Don't think I forgot Janae Aiko was in the Why I Love You video wearing a Kobe jersey.
No wonder she a freak.
That's scary
Groceries.
and disgusting. I don't think we should cut that out.
We
don't
love you,
cut
Janae.
anything out. We don't cut anything out. But yeah, no, that era of R&B for me is another golden era. Like you had a couple golden eras of R&B, a pocket in the 80s, early 90s, I would say, and then I think late 90s it got like the boy bands and shit started taking over, like that pop.
lot of
It
groups.
was way more of a pop era and
Groups.
groups. Like Destiny's Child was the only R&B group really like mainstream.
Yeah.
The rest of them were just black famous at that time. And then 2000s, a new wave of R&B. You got Ashanti, Sierra, Chris Brown,
Anthony
all these
Hamilton.
different.
Void.
Anthony Hamilton. That nigga sounds like cornbread.
He does. I hated that nigga so much.
cornbread.
bro.
All that I again.
No, when he sings,
Why they let the Terminator win the election? Come on, pay attention.
Bro, I was
his
so-
vibrato sounds
Shout
like
out Jada.
bubbling grease. You know what I mean? Like when you the
Like some
sound
pork
of
rinds.
yeah, with the sound of frying chitlins or frying like
Play
He
the
did
neck
it
bones,
dope.
tenderized and yummy.
He had a great hook though on a song with Nick Cannon. I forgot forgot what it was, but he had a great hook. Shout out him though. His beard never really fully connected, but shout out him.
That's what made me mad.
I
That's
Googled
what made me
Anthony
mad.
Hamilton
It's your fault,
beard.
Charlene. You bitch.
He got Kevin Durant's hair on his face.
I know. Yeah.
He really does.
We love you though, Anthony Hamilton.
Oh,
His
man.
tiny desk is great.
Oh wow!
He has one.
Yeah.
Yo, first song
gotta
I
tune
ever
in.
heard of Anthony with him on a song was, I thought it was a slave song. I swear to God. It was by a group called the Nappy Boys.
Yes. Nappy
And it
Boy
was
is gonna be
yeah.
okay.
It was Po
nigga.
Folks. The song is called Po
All
Folks.
my life I've been po, but it really don't matter no more. And then when it won't act this way, Nappy Roots gonna be okay.
I just pictured
Okay.
niggas just swinging a
That shit
pickaxe.
It was. They were doing that in the video.
Yeah, they're throwing hay everywhere.
Yeah.
bro.
See, the
What
things
are
I
they mixing
picture
this
are
up?
just things I've seen. I think that's what we've learned this episode. The
I hate
things I
it.
picture are the things I've seen. I think they're my memories, but they're really not. They're just music videos. Every
real.
time.
Yeah,
Nirvana, now this.
The womb.
Not niggas laughing at my earliest memory. I learned, I saw it. I was there. I seen it.
We're not letting him cook like
I seen it. Yo, I seen the other day someone put up a picture and it had thousands of likes and reposts, and it was, yo, you remember this golden age of YouTube? And it was you as D Pride. It was Tim. It was is Andrew Garcia? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Andrew Garcia.
Oh,
It was
shit. The singer?
He's a battle rapper now.
Dumbfounded.
Dumbfounded.
Shout out Dumbfounded.
And Honey Cocaine, and I was like, wow.
Shout out Honey Cocaine.
Remember these
Wow.
Asian Avenue greats?
Shout out Asian Avenue.
Asian Avenue, my first
It was like
social
Black
media.
Planet, but for Asian people.
for real?
Yeah, that was my first social
yeah,
media
yeah.
ever.
Mi
was your first
gente.
one?
My
There was
first
also
social
Mi
media
gente.
ever was
Asian Avenue.
Asian Avenue.
You freak ass boy.
Yours?
You freak ass boy.
It was on Asian Avenue before Black
said Black
Planet.
Planet.
When I,
Hold on.
when I lived in
Let me see what
Maple,
this is
all
about.
my friends were Asian, and they put me on, and I was just like, all right, bet. And then I learned it was Black Planet. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
not they had like the nigga version of like Tweety and shit.
Hold on, what was your name on Asian Avenue? Asian
I can't
Lover Boy
remember.
1?
I can't remember. I think it was like Black and
Thunder.
Ease.
Black and
I think it was Black and Ease because Rush Hour had come out.
Nasty work, man.
I think it was like Black and Ease or Blackie Chan or something like that.
Black Chinese.
Blackie Chan.
Black Chinese. That would have been perfect.
So good.
So good.
That kind of
Oh,
fly as a
man.
rap name now.
Yeah,
Right?
but-
Black Chinese? I mean, there's Black China. Can he sue? That's crazy.
Yeah, how come Black China can call herself
never
that and
really
Rich
realized
Chigga
that.
can't call himself Rich Chigga? That's not fair, man.
That is kind of wrong though,
not
to call
fair.
yourself that.
Chigo? China is the country.
Hold on, can I run to the
So
back?
what?
Nigga is not us. That's crazy.
What about Chinese?
He's actually Chinese, though.
Oh yeah, that's right. But it's like adding a Y.
Like,
to-
what country is Chigga, fam? What country is that?
I think it was from like Thailand or some shit. Rich Chigga is a crazy fucking name, bro. That yo,
What if a
that's how you know
Japanese
they really didn't know.
a Japanese guy called himself Jigga?
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Oh my god. Wow. Might have to put that in the vault.
Filipino would
I
be
ever manage a
a
young Filipino rapper.
a fligger.
Your name is Jigga. We're gonna make you a Japanese rapper.
Like jig jig.
Did you guys? I for some reason when I saw this content, I thought Duke might do it.
All right, let's hear it.
Drew Walls,
What?
the Drew Walls content.
No, what is
Get
that?
ready with me.
Ah, I would never do that.
You would do that.
I would
Don't
never
lie.
do that.
Come on.
I would never do that.
Why not?
Because I'm too real of a nigga to do that, fam.
Why is that not a real nigga thing?
Setting up
Why
a
is
camera.
he not a real nigga?
Come on, fam. You're setting up a camera to show what you're doing. Like,
Yeah.
gotta be mysterious, fam. I can't be doing that. You gotta be mysterious, fam. I can't let these
Hold on. So real niggas have to be mysterious.
Yeah. Nigga, I'm the king of going to a bar and being at the bar and just hugging it. And he's like, what is he up to? You don't know. You know what I
We do
mean?
know what you're up to. You're
You
at
don't.
apartment 200.
No, it's not put my spot out. Like, why you put the
What
spot
else
out?
could you be up to?
Nah, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a mysterious guy.
What possible things could you be up to
In my
apartment
mind, I'm like
200?
Batman. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just chilling in the car. You know?
This nigga is sick.
But nah, I would never do that content. That's insane.
You would never?
No.
Why is it insane?
Man, it just looks crazy. And he's so grown to be doing that in the first place. Like, way too grown. But
Why is that too grown? Why is there an age limit on that? What is the age limit on that?
I feel like you'd have to be a woman to do it, to be honest.
Okay.
Like a woman, mid-20s.
Okay, homophobia. Okay.
So
Homophobia?
We're not doing that 2024.
That's not homophobia?
No, it's not.
To
I
think
hope you guys
that
are
a man-
talking about what I think you're talking about.
You know the guy doing the Get Ready With Me videos?
Leaning, soda, Fanta.
Man,
You wouldn't do it?
I wouldn't do it. But I love the fact that Drake did it, though. I did.
Great nod.
I saw that. I was like, this is
Yeah,
actually
it's
fire.
great nod.
I
yeah.
think he wasted it.
What?
I think he should have done it for a music video. I think it would have been way funnier to see that as a music video. But just because of music videos, you're expecting extravagance and all that stuff.
That's a good point.
And then he just takes that and people are so used to call it. I feel like Drake is almost like he trolls with the corniness because he knows that's the conversation.
Yeah.
And so he just leans into it. Whereas like some people would try to fight against it, like try to prove I'm not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Logic.
Oh, yo.
If Logic just accepted the corniness, I feel like people would not give him as much shit as they've like Joe Budden and those guys.
Yeah.
Wouldn't give him as
Yo,
much.
they kill him
They
every
kill
chance
him.
they get,
kick
man.
his back in.
Rightfully so.
I don't think he could win though. Even if he accepted his corner.
No,
there's people
I
still
think there's
like,
you
see?
gotta know how
You
to make
see?
fun of yourself. You can't have this chip on your shoulder
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
people make fun of you when you're a public figure, because that now they're just gonna double and triple down when they
Yeah.
realize it bothers you.
Yeah.
Because you're rich, nothing should bother you. That's the perception.
Drake
right?
too is like a certified dude too. Like
Yeah.
he can joke and like he's like funny and
He's
shit.
an
That's why
actual funny
he's
guy.
survived
That's
this
what I'm
long. I swear to you,
Yeah.
is
He's
because he
actually funny.
leans into the jokes about himself.
Yeah.
Something will be trending about him, and he'll post it in his story.
Yeah.
Somebody will be making fun of him, and he'll post it in his
Yeah.
story. As long as it's creating conversation,
Yeah.
he's gonna lean in.
And he leans to the funny shit. Like,
Yeah.
he posts the funny memes on his story. You know what I mean? So,
If you're
Yeah.
clever, if you're witty, if you know how to parlay whatever bad situation, quote unquote, or like joke or troll about you,
Yeah.
and you know how to parlay that into a win for yourself, I don't think anybody can stop. Like that's when you're truly unstoppable on
Yeah.
the internet. Like
Facts.
Lil Nas X,
his shit is
he's
wearing,
really
though.
unstoppable though.
It's kind of wearing, I feel
It's
like.
wearing, but can you stop it?
No.
And is he gonna stop? Because it keeps continuing to create conversation.
True.
Which is his goal at the end of the day.
Yeah, you're
his
right.
goal is not, oh, this is gonna add context to the music, and you need this context to understand it. Nobody needed the rollout to understand a song called J Christ. You know what I mean?
The
Like
best comeback of all time.
the best comeback of all time. Like nobody needed the context.
Yeah.
So it's like when it's, I don't know if I have that factor in me to just lean into something because it's conversation.
Yeah.
I feel
you
like you
hear-
have to
I
have
feel
a.
like you do, though. I feel
But
like
did you hear his
How?
explanation though to why he did it? He's like, it wasn't because I think I'm Jesus. It's because, but in a sense,
I'm coming
in the way
back.
I'm coming back and how he was, reborn
That's
was
bullshit.
the metaphor.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like,
He's a troll. He keeps trolling.
good one,
Yeah.
buddy.
He doesn't stop trolling. Why do you say that? I lean into it. I don't think I do.
No, I feel like if you were put in that situation, I don't know. If something,
Oh, that I would lean
Yeah,
in?
yeah, yeah.
I mean, if I was forced to, yeah. But I mean, like, I'm not seeking out those moments.
No, I don't think
you
you're
know what I
seeking
mean.
it
Like,
out. Yeah.
some people look for those moments to attach, and it becomes inauthentic that way. If I'm forced to, like, yo, every single person is talking about this. Like,
Yeah.
you can't pretend this is not happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Then yeah, I gotta lean into
And
it.
I feel like most funny people do that.
Well, yeah, if you don't, then you're probably not funny.
It's like, oh, you have a weird heart. Like,
Did you
what's
see
wrong
that
with you?
girl?
You know?
Did you see that girl that made a video? It's going viral. She complains about a comedian
Mm-hmm.
who essentially followed her. She opened up for him,
Mm-hmm.
and she said, "I hyped up the crowd. I found out how to say his name correctly. I said his name correctly. I did all the right things." And then he goes up there and he just trashes me for his fan in front of his fans and like disrespects me and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And so the comedian posts the video. He's like, "This is what actually happened." Like, and he shows the video. And the girl said she's like, "I never bombed. I was killing it. I was doing really well. I set up the night. I had the energy up for him." And when you watch the video, this bitch is clearly bombing. And she's like, "Oh, I did this for I've been doing this for 8 years. I know if I
the
bombed."
delusion that some performers and comedians have just because they've heard a couple of claps. Like some claps
Oh
to
my
comedians
That's why I love Kill
are
Tony.
amplified
Yeah.
when they hear it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like,
And that's good for
Relax.
you sometimes. Sometimes that's good for you. That doesn't mean that the next person coming up that's good for them. Because when he came up, when I first saw her set, she did like 10 minutes off the top, and you heard some laughter here and there, but not like belly laughter. No one's slapping, no one's stomping, none of that, right?
Yeah.
And she's relatively low energy. And she's completely different from this guy. He's a black guy, got the blinged out chain,
Okay.
coming in the designer. She looks like a regular white
Jane.
girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so he comes up and first thing he said, they had me follow this substitute teacher. And this is the first joke he makes. And the laughter, I was like, oh, she wasn't getting laughs like at all.
Yeah.
Because that's all he said. And they erupted. And the fact that he was making fun of her and they were laughing more, as a comedian, you can't punching down unnecessarily is the worst thing you can do. It's not going to get you laughs. You're a bully now.
Yeah.
So if he was lying, they wouldn't have laughed.
Exactly.
The fact that he's kicking her back in and they're laughing even harder.
Yeah.
And this is a scrawny little white girl. Like they should have, for all intents and purposes, should have been like, oh, hey,
That's not okay. Yeah.
She must have been shit in the bed, and everything he said was the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she came back with another video. Like, people are talking about my skin color now. They're talking about my gender.
Oh my God.
Victimizing herself again. Like, yo, just hold your L.
Yo,
Just read the room.
Why are you in comedy?
How you do comedy 8 years and can't read a room?
But why are you? I don't know. Why are you doing comedy for 8 years if you're talking about this? Like, you're
But this is what we experience, bro.
we bomb all the time. So like, we're used to it at
Of
this
course,
point.
but I feel like I would never see either of you guys saying the crowd was whack. This.
No,
and how dare
sometimes-
you."
I mean, I still say that.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
it
but you
actually
wouldn't-
happens.
Sometimes it's valid. Sometimes it's
Yeah,
valid that the
sometimes it's
crowd
Would you
is
make a
whack.
video though?
Never.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
Never in my life.
That's what I'm saying.
The fact that she thought TikTok was HR
Yeah, like
is crazy. Like, what are we supposed to do about this? You want us to cancel a comedian for making jokes about you?
Yeah.
like,
You're a comedian. This is like,
I feel in general, a lot of people think everything is a story time, but it's like certain things, just keep them to yourself. Man.
Yeah,
Or like
yeah,
keep them to
yeah,
your
yeah.
friends. Like not everybody should have accessibility to this thing. You know.
Yeah.
But
Not everything's content. I don't.
yeah.
Have you ever bombed while as in your singing career yet?
I was gonna say earlier. I think bombing is the part of the development.
Yeah, it's necessary.
Like I think
you learn more from L's than you do from wins.
Hell yeah. I think as a singer, I just had like my 1-2 moments where like I was just performing live and I probably didn't hit a note well. But I think I learned, I got all my bombing from rapping. Like there's a lot of bombs in rap that I bombed a lot. I shit the bed in so many ways in rap. So it's like, I think I got a lot of, it's like a mix of trauma and just like, and a lot of lessons learned, you know, when it comes to having to understand why I bombed and, you know, improving it.
But what does bombing for an artist look like though?
So much. I mean, you can ruin a release for yourself. You could, you know, I guess in a sense, put out the wrong song, follow trends.
Yeah.
Make a
so you
fool
mean-
out of
okay,
yourself. Do a show and like nobody shows up, or like you do a show and it's like 500 people there, but nobody's fucking with you, and like you have to sit up there and like, you know, for a lot of artists is like, we kind of live in this world sometimes where we think like the show is gonna be everybody fucking like fuck yeah. You know, you think it's gonna be this big thing, but a lot of times it's like, it depends on what city you're in, but like of course in our city, you know, it's specified to my come up, like I would, you know, get in front of a lot of these screw face crowds that like just didn't give a fuck about shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think a lot of it shaped me into understanding and like growing thick skin within entertainment. Just like, all right, well, this is just how it goes. But you got to do it. You got to have your shows where it doesn't work, because that's how you can figure out what to do for next time.
Yeah, exactly.
All
Figuring
the
out
time.
what works.
And music, I feel like music and comedy go hand in hand like that. You know, just like kind of developing your set.
Right,
Because like
right.
a lot of comedians are like, they live and die by their set. It's so much research you got to do. It's so much crowd work you have to figure out.
Yeah.
It's so many things you have to work out of and work back in. If you forget your dialogue, it's the same thing with putting together like an hour show.
And even like, sorry
And-
to cut you off, even like vulnerability wise, right? Because comics go up every night. You're alone on that stage.
Yep.
You're talking to shit. If there's no laughs, everyone knows that nobody laughed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just be like,
For real.
it's fine. And then same for you as an artist. Like you're putting your
Yeah.
shit out. Like your next project is gonna be super personal to you, right?
Yeah.
Putting that out, that's not easy to fucking do.
It's really not. It's, I think too, in a genre that is so reliant on like prestige, like R&B has a prestige to it. You really have to, you know what I mean? Like
You
up
actually have to
here.
show your skills.
Yeah,
yeah.
and to be somebody, I never grew up in the church. I never grew up around real vocalists, and I don't know keys. Like I really don't. I just know the keys on auto tune. That's all I really know. Other than that, it's like I just kind of sing off feels, but I know that that's the route I want to go, and it makes it personal to me. And like that's kind of what I learned throughout this whole thing, like just making that me, and kind of like every mistake I made as a rapper made these great things I already got in my back pocket as a singer. Like to just kind of do this, and yeah, it's all refining things. I mean, I feel like bombing a billion times is like you just refining a set.
Yeah.
And you know how to handle it the next time. it
Yeah,
happens.
exactly. And
Like when you were performing at Sorry Not Sorry and there was those technical difficulties, the average person would sit there and be like, "Yo, DJ, play something for me, get me out of this." But you were so, you know, you was water, you were liquid with it. You was
Yeah.
like, "Hey man, this happens, man. Watch me dance real quick."
This guy's
huh?"
a performer.
You know what I'm saying? So it was easy for
Thanks,
you
man.
to just, you know, roll with the punches. So like sometimes, you know, when people bomb, people freak out, but then when other people bomb, they find it as an opportunity to show, hey, I don't get phased. You know,
Yeah.
I don't that shit don't hurt me.
Yeah.
You know? And I think when people see that it don't bother you, you become way more endearing to them too. You
Yeah.
know, like, oh man,
Yeah.
this guy's
Definitely.
so nice.
That's
That's so awesome.
Savannah Ray, Sean Leon, and you were the first people in Toronto I seen that like just from jump had natural stage presence. Like
Thanks.
knew how to command a room, take command over a room. If something, like you said, goes wrong, you guys knew how to pivot. Like
yeah,
Savannah Ray, like I remember her and Sean Leon, they were on the same show. And like you could just tell the stark difference. You know, one of those like festivals or like shows where it's like multiple
Yeah.
artists on and they do like one or two songs.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow. And there was a show with you very early on that I saw where I was like, this guy, because I feel like we've talked about it before, where I feel like those in between the song moments mean almost as much as the song moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Because like I need to know that
can
you're
feel it.
relatable. Like you have a personality past
Yeah.
just this
Yeah.
music. I remember when Summer Walker was first touring and like she'd be standing there and singing the songs and then she'd just wait for the next song. And she wouldn't say a word. And people were like weirded out by it.
Yeah, it
Because they're
is
so
weird.
used to an artist conversing or like saying these, you know, those
You
little
talk to the
things
crowd
like
a little
right
bit, it's
side
like-
to you. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
yeah.
Like those
Yeah.
little things like, but then there's an artist like Timar who I seen open up for Sir.
Yeah.
And she had a sore throat, okay? Like you could hear it when she speaks, like it was bad. But in between each song, she's making fun of herself, like she's making fun of
I like when artists
people,
do that.
like
Yeah.
it was great. And that made me go and search her music more after that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like
Yeah.
when I first saw you, you already knew how to connect with the crowd. Where did that come from?
I just, well, from being really, really young as a kid, I just wanted all the attention growing up. But now it's like,
That's all of us in this space, by the way. Don't
yeah,
worry,
yeah.
It's not just you.
Pretty much.
you can make great fucking music, but like again, to my point, is like, how are people gonna give a fuck?
Yeah.
Like, and who's the guy behind the music? If it's great music, there has to be a great person behind
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I like to showcase that in any way I can. I think nowadays I want to show it the most genuinely that I can, so people like me for the right reasons.
Yeah,
instead of,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, that's
you
real.
don't want to be kind of defined by something that you feel was like
Yeah.
just in that moment.
Yeah.
But I think people just really cling on to something, one, that like they could just be like kind of in. I always kind of looked at stand up as a way to fill in a lot of my gaps within performing. Because I always just felt like, all right, well, I'm up here, and a lot of my fans, like, my fan base is sick. I got like a really, really cool. They like play along with every joke. Like they're really like
they're just as goofy as you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm calling you a
That's
goof.
crazy, fam.
You're a goofball.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
There's a difference between a goof and a goofball.
no, yeah, I
I'm
totally
a
get it.
goofball.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
super
finally.
goofy.
There you go.
Yeah, I was about to say this is a
That'd be
suffering over
great.
here. But yeah, I mean, I always I'm a very big concert goer. I love concerts, and one thing about being from Toronto and knowing a lot of artists is like everybody always wants to be backstage. Like that shit is full. And what people don't get about that shit is that you're getting drowned out wedges when it comes to the sound quality. So you're not
Yeah.
really watching the show. You're just here for ego.
Yeah.
You're just here so that the
Exactly.
bad bitches in the crowd see you over
Exactly.
here. But really, like the real show is in the crowd.
Yeah.
The real show is from the bar. If I'm going like one deep, I'm going to the bar and I'm just gonna hang and listen to this live music and it's gonna be sick. And I'm gonna put my hands up and I'm like, and I think
Mysterious, yeah.
yeah, I'm. That's how I am actually. Like as a big, you could catch me at like a local Toronto hip hop show, like
Yeah.
just hanging in the back. Like everybody knows that. I'm very just. I like what this is, so I think that also contributes to how much that aids me as a performer because like I want people to have such a like psyched out experience as
Yeah.
like me when I go to certain shows, and like a
Yeah.
lot of my shows are like. It's like a Travis Scott show mixed with an Usher show.
Yeah.
You get these like incredible vocals and like I'll dance here and there, but then like you can like jump in a pit and
Yeah.
also like yell at the top
High
of your
energy,
lungs
yeah.
and sing every single word and like nobody's gonna judge you because like everybody knows like this is the fan base like this is the thing you know
Yeah.
and it's R&B which is crazy like one observation a lot of people had with my live shows is like I had grown men in there just like singing their fucking hearts out.
Yeah.
They didn't give a shit.
I'm
you
one
know?
of them for sure.
And it helps because like you know I was in rap before. I've been in the gritty. Like I really put my 10,000 hours into rap
Facts.
and also cemented myself in the culture some fucking way.
Yeah.
Like nobody could ever rewrite history and take that away from me as much as they ever want to make fun of me. Like I did something in hip hop, so fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you
So
did.
it's like with that, I'm able to kind of just have the confidence to move through and like bring that to singing. Like, yo, this is a rapper's confidence in a R&B genre.
Yeah.
Like, I can kind of bring that, and especially with my shows where like a lot of R&B shows are just like people just kind of standing there and like enjoying vocals, and that's great. But I feel like the band and like all that is carrying you, but like. Are you gonna make people dance? Are you gonna
Yeah.
make people
Exactly.
like really remember this moment?
Yeah.
Like, are you gonna make this guy right beside his girl when those drums on your song come on and they're slow and they're in that fucking D'Angelo tempo? Is he gonna grab his girl's waist and like pull her in?
Yeah.
Does your shit make them want to do that?
Yeah.
If not, then I know you're just going up here just because you want to be on a stage and have people look at you. But if you really love that shit, you want to make those fucking moments.
And the audience
that's what
can
I
tell
want to
the
do.
difference.
And I learned that shit on tour with J. Cole. Like that was my first ever tour.
Yeah.
And what I saw like when I observed him performing was like people kind of having these life-changing moments just watching him
Yeah.
and sing along to him. And I was like, damn, like this is what I want to do
Yeah.
for the rest of my life. I want to tour and like do all this shit.
Yeah.
So that's like I just have such a childish energy when it comes to it because like on the deepest level I could take it, not to like fuck up any mood, but it's like I've lived a very fucking dark life. Like my life is not it wasn't a walk in the fucking park. I could say that. But there's something about when I grab a mic and it's like fucking 10 seconds till showtime, no matter what, whether the crowd fucking knows me or not. I'm just like, yo, this is 10 seconds until I don't have to think about my mom being dead. I don't have to think about all these fucking overdue bills.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about comparison. Who's this? Who's that? I don't have to think about what I'm eating tonight.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about shit. I just have to fucking get lit and like really turn this shit the fuck up. And like I love that. I like I fiend for that. So I
Yeah.
think like that will always keep me within this. Like
You better
Performing.
lose yourself in the moment. You want.
but yeah, like, you know, you want to have those moments, you know, where you're fucking B-Rabbit in the mirror, you know, I think that drives me so much as an artist. And I think it'll help other artists to like hear something like that, like somebody that passionate. I'm like, a lot of people, I met somebody in the industry once and we had a really like, he was somebody I always wanted to meet. And like, I fucked with him. I wish I could, you know, I don't want to, you know, invade anybody's privacy, but we just had a really, really nice conversation. And I feel like I got a lot off, but also at the same time, I know myself. Like, I'm very fucking passionate about shit, so I could fucking have like a cocaine bound sounding explanation of something because I just talk so fast and I love everything.
Yeah.
But at the end of it all, he looked at me, he's like, in the nicest way, bro, you're a psycho. And I fucking loved it because that's really what I am. I think that if you're gonna be like a superstar, you could be an artist. You could put out songs, you could, you know, get streams and shit. That's cool. Do it. Like, you could make the money. Like, 1 million streams is very like obtainable if you make a good song.
Yeah.
But it's like, I want to be a superstar. Like, I want to like pop up on stage like Michael Jackson and just fucking stand there and have everybody scream. Not because like I'm the fucking man, because, well, kind of because of that, but like half of that because of that, but the other half just being like, yo, you speak for me somehow, some way. So that's why it's like sports teams. Like, sports teams speak to a city. Like, imagine having that entire impact that a sports team has in one guy when you're just singing songs from your fucking room. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes you gotta. It's like a certain level of like positive delusion. You know.
Yeah,
like,
hell yeah.
Because like, even though you know your team's not gonna win, you're still like, fucking let's go, Bills.
Yeah.
We're making it to the cup this year.
It's
Like,
that,
hell yeah.
escape,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
that escapism that he's talking about.
That's
where it's
my
like
escape,
You
yeah.
get to leave all your things that you're dealing with in real life,
Right.
for just a moment. You know what I mean? And I like it's just like us doing comedy. Like, that's what we're helping
real.
to provide, is that escape. And then after the show's done and they're driving home, it's like, oh yeah, life again. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
for that
man.
moment, they were chilling. They were cool. Like,
For real.
And you might have helped their health, like their
big
literal
time, yeah.
health. You know what I mean? So I love it. That's amazing. Thank you so much for coming through. When's the album dropping again?
February.
End of February. Now here's
Hell
the
yeah.
Here's the thing. One thing we do every time we have a guest on the show is we call it a manifestation moment.
Yes.
Because we have this knack. We have this tendency to help people's dreams come true whenever they say it within their manifestation moment here. So think of anything grand. You are delusional. You think bigger than most people. So go big when you think about what you want to manifest and say it right here in your manifestation moment at Extra Gravy. Anything, brother. Someone you want to work with, a place you want to go, some place you want to perform.
I'll tell you a little primary plan. I think about this a lot. Think about this a fucking lot. It's cool. It's probably one of the first times I'm probably saying it out loud.
Okay.
But I wanna get it like a sick ass fucking pad in the Philippines and just have my dad go live out there and hang out and never have to work a day in his life. He could just hang out. I could tour the world and I could FaceTime him, see whatever the fuck he's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, you know, sister getting everything paid for and just her finding like whatever she wants because I'm able to just like, here's the money. Like, let's go. What do you want to do? Let's start a fucking business. Like, let's do something. I just want to like do something with my sister like that big. I want to be the biggest fucking star ever and like hold a legacy to it and like speak for Filipino people, speak for the Toronto kids and Brampton kids. And speak for bedroom musicians. Like, there's so many things I want to speak for and like be that guy. And I think like that'll drive me to be the biggest artist I could possibly be. So I can literally just live a cool life where I have an orange cat, probably like a Maine Coon. I want a fucking orange cat like a Maine Coon, and then I want a golden retriever, and then like a super, super beautiful, you know what I'm saying, damsel. You know what I'm saying? To chill with me and hang out, and I could just be a man-child all day, probably have my own kid, and fucking, you know, learn how to skateboard at fucking 45, and just fucking paint all day and get high and invite everybody to my house and let them use my studio and just be a fucking hippie.
I can't wait to check all these things off and like, yo, he said it. Look at this motherfucker. He did it
That's
all.
really like my painted picture. Like, and I want a family, I want to do all that, but like first, I just want to make sure that my step pops and my sister are good, and then I could get to the cat and the fucking dog, and you know what I mean, like all the good stuff sprinkled on top of it. But you know, I think about this like every day. It's like if it's not like the game motivating me, it's like me thinking about waking up in a cool ass bed with like a really big like orange cat and being like, yo, let's go fucking make a yogurt parfait this morning. You know, just simple shit. You know, I don't want like cars and shit. I just want to see everybody happy, really.
And I love that you're sending your pops to the Philippines when he's He's Trini.
He loves Filipino shit. Like,
yeah.
you know, my mom got him. I think it's like in some ways like a callback from my mom for him.
True.
And he always talks about it. And it's like, that's one thing. Like, my dad really don't ask for much. He's like a really simple guy. But like sometimes he'll like look at these YouTube videos and he'll be like, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that shit. Like, I really don't care. Like, I will live in my 1-bedroom apartment forever. If it means just fucking FaceTiming my dad while he's getting fucking massaged in the backyard in a fucking huge ass crib and he's happy as shit, like, that'll make me so happy, bro. Like, you know, so yeah, I manifest that like every fucking day. So I'll just say it out loud on here. Like,
All right.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's on
Ladies
wax.
and gentlemen,
particular, yeah.
Russell.
Bang, 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 bang.
Shout out to you. Thank you for coming
Also,
through.
before I leave, I also want to say I'm very proud of all of you.
Thank
you know, we came up in the same fucking era. You know what I mean? And also just like hearing about you. There are like so many content pieces I've seen of you, and I was like, I have to run into this guy sometime soon and say what up. But like, I think this just walking into like everything recently and like this resurgence of having in my career, I get to like connect with people like you and John and like so many other people within the Filipino community. So like, I definitely want to give you your nod. Like, you are very well appreciated in our community, for real.
Let's go.
I fuck with
Big
you.
Norm, not the little one.
You know what I'm saying? Not the
Bitch
little-
ass niggas.
Hold on, play Ether again. Bye.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Another week, another classic.
Yep.
Crazy
for this one.
I'm Marlon.
I'm Norm.
I'm Duke.
And
I'm
that
Russell.
was the extra gravy. Scoop, scoop.
You're my